Budweiser, the king of beers. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. And by AC Delco, quality automotive parts for quality motoring. AC Delco.
The autumn colors are beginning to show on this crisp October day in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Here at Lambeau Field, CBS Sports presents the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris here at Lambeau Field. And, John, we've got a 4-1 Packer team atop the Central Division in the NFC against the Chicago Bears, 3-2. Only 5 games into the season, a most important contest.
Yes, it is, Tim, and it's been a long time since the Bears and Packers were both vying for first place. 1963, as a matter of fact. Usually one team's been up and the other one down. 2 questions. Can the Packers stop Walter Payton? As you'll recall, he rushed in 2 games for almost 400 yards against Green Bay. That's a lot of yards, and the Bears are going to try and make that ground game go. Can David Whitehurst and the Packers continue that unbelievable streak? Like last week, they played almost a near-perfect game. Can they continue? We'll find out.
400 yards of offense against the Lions last week. The Bears coming off 2 defeats at the hands of 2 strong teams, Minnesota and Oakland. And today, perhaps a test for the Green Bay Packers in playing a real quality team. For the Bears, a chance to show that the Packers are still merely upstarts. We're ready for the kickoff here at Lambeau Field, and the Bears have won the toss. They will receive to our right. That is the south end of Lambeau Field, wearing their road white uniforms, and Green Bay in green, famed green and gold. And the officials for this afternoon's game, the referee Gordon McCarter, Tony Kramer, Jerry Seaman, Jack Fetty, Ray Douglas, Bill Quinby, and Armin Terzian.
And boy, do we have a perfect day for a football game. About 55 degrees, the sun is out, the field is in perfect condition. The commissioner of the National Football League, Pete Rozelle, is here. And the Packers and Bears vying for first place in the NFC Central Division. Quite a matchup.
The last time the teams met a year ago, the Bears at Chicago won at 21-10. They have beaten the Packers their last 4 times. Just a few minutes ago here at Lambeau Field, Ray Nitschke, the great Packers linebacker, received his Hall of Fame ring in a special ceremony here so that the hometown fans could share that moment with him. Ray Nitschke. We're ready to go with Bob Thomas prepared to kick it off with, Chester Marco, Lenny Walterscheid, and Steve Schubert on the deep end for the Bears. It's brought up by Schubert to the 26-yard line for Chicago. And they will begin 1st and 10 there in reasonably good field position. Estes Hood, a rookie, made the tackle. Bob Avellini will be the quarterback. Walter Payton and Roland Harper are the running backs. The wide receivers are James Scott and Golden Richards. The tight end is Greg Latta. Across the front, Albrecht, Jackson, Neal, Sorey, and Dennis Lick. And we'll be watching a couple of matchups here this afternoon because they may very well affect the outcome of this game. An immediate shift by the Bears. Latta moves his strong side to the right. Roland Harper straight ahead. Picked up about 4 on the play behind the right tackle, Dennis Lick, and the right guard, Reeve Sorey. And Johnny Morris will set that defense for Green Bay, and we'll look for some of the matchups. Along the front, it will be Butler and Johnson, 2 exciting young defensive ends. The veterans Dave Roller and Carl Barzalauskas are the tackles. The linebackers, the veteran Gary Weaver, a pair of rookies, Michael Hunt and John Anderson. And a very strong secondary, Buchanan and McCoy in the corners, Gray and Luke are the safeties. 2nd and 5. Harper again is jammed up right at the line of scrimmage. Ezra Johnson was there, so was the linebacker Hunt. Maybe a half a yard gain on the play. And I think, Johnny, we will be watching today Dennis Lick.
Appears before the fumble came, but the Bears are on the drive, on the move, on the 22-yard line of the Green Bay Packers.
A 20-yard gain for Walter Payton. Bart Starr said, gee, we'd like to hold him to around 120, and we'd be happy. Well, he's got 20 on that game. Play action, Golden Richards. Flanker screen, he lost the ball. It is recovered by Green Bay at their own 2-yard line. Golden Richards made the catch, but made the fumble.
It was the wide receiver right. I think it was James Scott out here. And he comes back inside, then gets hit and fumbles the ball forward, and down it goes. And the Packers recover right there at the 2-yard line. Johnny Gray hustles.
7:25 remaining, first period. No score. Green Bay has it at their 2. Well, allow me to make an important correction. Those of you who could see it from our field level camera at the time, it was James Scott who caught the pass but dropped the ball. Scott, not Richards, 89, not 83. Andra Thompson is into the ball game, number 43, along with 2 tight ends, Rich McGeorge and Carl Kaufman as the receivers. First down at the 2 for Green Bay on the recovery by Johnny Gray. That is Barty Smith digging straight ahead out to the 5-yard line. A flag down on the play. A gain of 3, and let's see who the infraction is against.
An ironic thing, the Bears had only lost the ball on fumbles twice going into this game.
Offside against Chicago. So they will no doubt take the penalty. They got 3 on the play and 5 on the penalty, and they'll move it out to the 7-yard line. Pittsburgh in front of Atlanta, 17-0. They're in the second period there with 59 seconds remaining.
Rocky Blyer and Terry Bradshaw both scored.
Number 53, defense, first down.
Tommy Hart, number 53, the left defensive end. The man offside for the Bears, so the Pack gets a little help there as the eager Bears trying to keep them pinned right at the goal line. Just a little too eager. First and 5. Barty Smith again. Good hole behind the left side. Darrell Goforth and Tim Stokes. Gary Fensick on the tackle, and it looks like he has a first down.
Barty Smith has become a more valuable player for the Packers this year because they have all these new ways to strike you with the outside speed of Middleton, good fast wide receivers, and it makes a plugger, a slower fullback type like Barty Smith even more valuable because the Bears have to watch everything. They can't load up on him, and Barty Smith gets that key yardage when they need it. There's a score. Detroit 9, Washington 7 in the second period.
How about that? And that is now at halftime. The Lions ahead of Washington 9-7. Lions trying to rebound from a shellacking at the hands of the Pack last week. And Washington still unbeaten. Barty Smith, the 4th-year man from Richmond, had 175 yards rushing coming into the game. Johnny talking about how well he's being utilized. So he's been doing his share, and he's caught 14 passes.
David Whitehurst going to the sidelines now after that timeout and talked with Zeke Bradkowski and Bart Starr. He has a little wristband with the plays on it. Some of the questionable calls, you might say. He gets the signals from Zeke Bradkowski before every play. That saves a lot of time so they don't have to send them in. But we'll be back in just a moment with Scoreless.
They're doing it in every city, town, and hamlet in America. An estimated 10 million people. Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans are encouraging it because we're trying hard to hold the cost of health care down, and people who stay fit help. So to all of you out huffing and puffing in America today, Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans want to say thanks for giving the cost of health care a good run for the money.
Introducing a new American road car. The all-new Ford LTD for $79, with more front seat room, more rear seat room, more window area, and more handling ease than last year's LTD. Plus the power of a V8 engine standard. A road car to take you across town or across the country.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
To test drive the all-new LTD on your own roads, see your Ford dealer today.
Live from Nashville, Johnny Cash hosts the celebration of country's finest. It's the 12th Annual Country Music Awards, Monday at 9:30, 8:30 Central and Mountain.
First down, Green Bay. They were charged with a timeout. There seemed to be some confusion as to whether they should be or not, but they were, and Bart Starr not too happy with that, but he's now got the right word into Whitehurst. A Bear move. Did he get back? The flag is down. Kind of a late flag. Brad Shear putting the stop on Turdell Middleton right behind the line of scrimmage. Hartenstein was apparently the man moving, and we'll see if he is charged.
There you can see it at the top of your screen as he tries to get back, does not get back in time, and Brad Shear, who is filling in for Ron Rydalch, number 72 there, makes the tackle out of the University of Texas, last year's Outland Trophy winner.
Offside, number 73, defense, first down.
Kind of a slow flag down on that call. I guess the question was whether he jumped back in time or not. Talk about an unbelievable score for a second period today in the National Football League action. The New York Jets, without Richard Todd, really doing a number on the Buffalo Bills, who are an improved team off to a pretty good start. This is Middleton, big hole. Middleton ducks under a tackler and gets to the 26-yard line. Brad Shearer ranging back to stop him. He had a lot of running room off tackle.
Yes, he did, and he left his blocking that time. He's trailing Dale Goforth, number 57. Goforth goes to the outside, and Turdell says, what the heck? I see yardage up the middle. I'm going straight ahead, and he did. He got some yardage.
Out to the 25-yard line, a first down. They were 1st and 5 with the offside against Chicago. So the Pack moving from the shadow of their own goal line. They are still scoreless, 6 minutes remaining. First period, Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris here in Green Bay. Barty Smith battering straight ahead behind the left guard Goforth and the center Larry McCarron. And at the bottom of that pile is Shearer and the linebacker Tommy Hicks. Got maybe 2 on the play. Let's call it 2nd and 8. Ron Rideout is dressed and could play today. Neil Armstrong said only if they really need him. He's suffering from the now fairly common injury referred to as turf toe, which obviously comes from playing on the artificial surfaces. And Jim Osborne playing with a sore back. Of course, Alan Ellis is gone for the season. Virgil Ivor's out for a couple of games. Their defense. Kurt Middleton on the swing pass. Good coverage by Fensick. Stopped him short of the first down. The ball at the 34-yard line of Green Bay.
Gary Fensick responded real well because Middleton had him out there man for man, had the ball in stride, and Fensick made the tackle to stop the first down. Now it's a 3rd and 1.5 situation, which is a key one. Of course, now the Packers have 2 tight ends in. Short yardage. This is where Bart Starr used to do it all the time. 3rd and 1, and he would throw that bomb.
I don't think he's ready to let young Whitehurst make those kind of plays, so let's see. Kaufman and McGeorge are the tight ends in on the 3rd and short. They give it to Middleton. Middleton dropped the ball. Hartenstein has it. Good tackle on him by the quarterback, David Whitehurst, on that big Mike Hartenstein, or he might have lumbered down there for a touchdown.
Big break and just good, solid, hard hitting. Jolted this ball loose because he had the first down. He had his shoulders down. He seems to have the ball well in tow. And boy, I'll tell you what, Doug Plank just knocked that ball loose. Hartenstein picked it up. David Whitehurst on the tackle, put him on defense. Anyway, the Packers are going to be on defense because the Bears have the ball 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Good football on the play, even though it was a fumble. It was a good hit that created it. Alert pickup by Hartenstein. Alert tackle by David Whitehurst. But the Bears have the ball back, so they're even in turnovers. Roland Harper cutting back behind Neal, and Noah Jackson is stopped by the rookie linebacker number 60, John Anderson. Picked up maybe 3 on the play. Well, James Scott coughed one up for the Bears after making the catch on a flanker screen. Gray recovering at the 2 for Green Bay, and they brought it out rather smartly to their 35-yard line. But there, it was Middleton who fumbled, and the Bears have the ball. And they have now 2nd and 7 at the 29. Avellini swings it out for Harper, juggling, and is dropped by Ezra Johnson, and the man forcing him was Steve Luke, number 46.
This could be the first screen of this type that the Bears have run this year. I don't think they have done it very much. As you can see, Harper on the left side of your screen, he goes out. As it turns out, he'd been better off to drop the ball, but how's he to know? He hangs on and then takes his punishment as Big Ezra, Steve Luke, both of them come over and make the tackle. The Bears now have a 3rd and 10 situation. The Packers make some substitution. Obviously, the pass defensive type. They've got 5 defensive backs in there now.
Estes Hood, number 38, rookie from Illinois State.
Here they come.
The pass is behind James Scott, the intended receiver. Good rush on Avellini. He threw it a little sooner than he wanted to. Scott was open, but he couldn't get it to him.
Well, that's the philosophy of the blitz. The Packers came with everybody, put the pressure on Avellini. He had to get rid of the ball, and subsequently it destroyed the accuracy of his pass because Scott was open, had inside position, but it was behind him, and the Packers have held again as Bob Thomas comes on to go for his 11th straight field goal without a miss, which would be a new Bear record.
Mac Percival held the record that he tied at 10 consecutive field goals. This will be a 48-yard try. They're spotting it just outside the 38.
Oh!
And it's a high snap. Back for it is Baschnagel. Baschnagel is dropped with a good tackle at the 40-yard line by Mike McCoy, number 29. Big play by Green Bay off the high snap from John Morris. Not our Johnny, the other one.
There it is. As Baschnagel goes back, he has a sore leg, so he can't run too well anyway. And here comes McCoy with the tackle, and the Packers have a big break. They got the ball back.
Give me an Anheuser-Busch Natural Light.
Just say natural.
You see, you doesn't have to call it Anheuser-Busch Natural Light, and you doesn't have to call it Anheuser Natural, and you doesn't have to call it Busch Natural. Just say natural.
Johnson's right.
Oh, you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay, or you can
For a great-tasting light beer, just say natural.
But you doesn't have to call me Johnson.
2 naturals, please.
Please don't ask him his name.
Name? You can call me Ray, or you can call me...
Good old Charlie, that's me. Somebody's got a dead battery and they call good old Charlie, and I jump-start 'em. Rain, snow, day, night. Well, this time I tell them, get your own Die-Hard.
The maintenance-free Die-Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't.
This is the last time.
Thank you, Charlie.
Oh, anytime.
The Die-Hard, sold only at Sears.
So the Green Bay Packers, with a big break here, have a first down, a 30-yard gain on that play for them as the Bears were attempting a 48-yard field goal. A high snap resulted in a Packer first down at the Bears 39. Barty Smith digs over the 35 to the 34. And he's stopped by Gary Campbell, number 59, the right side linebacker.
There's a few of the Green Bay Packers sitting down, the defensive men. Johnny Gray, Steve Luke. They got the ball for the offense. Now they have earned a rest to sit on the sidelines, but don't sit too long. This game can change in a flash, can it?
Sure can. We've had 3 turnovers already here in the first period. St. Louis in front of the Baltimore Colts by a field goal in the first period. Slot formation right for Green Bay. 2nd and 5. Wobbly pass is incomplete. Might have been slightly tipped. Intended for Andre Thompson, number 43. Second-year wide receiver from East Texas State, who ran Ollie Smith off the team. Took the starting position, and Walter Tullis is the backup.
You can see David Whitehurst looking to the sidelines from Zeke Bradkowski, who's signaling in which play to run. And it's 3rd and 5, as you mentioned there. You can see Kansas City leading Tampa Bay 3-0. Key 3rd down play.
3rd and 5. The Bears with 5 defensive backs in. Lenny Walterscheid, number 23, has come in to join the secondary, and motion back toward the ball is Lofton. Whitehurst under pressure, out to Smith. Campbell got a piece of him, and he was finished off by Fensick, number 45.
They ran Lofton back in motion. You'll see him at the bottom of your screen. No, you don't quite see him. They went downfield, and they just threw it out to Barty Smith, and he's got 2 men to beat here, and he just can't beat them both. Good coverage by the Bears. And finally, it's Gary Fensick who brings him down.
Here you see Lofton again.
He looked like he was open, didn't he?
Yes, he did, but they had pretty good pressure on Whitehurst. Steve Schubert is back to receive the punt for the Bears. He's standing at the 13-yard line of Chicago. Beverly standing at the 49 of the Bears, waiting the snap. Short snap, whistle called. The Bears trying to keep the ball there, but they may have run out of time.
Yes.
It was number 51. Jim Gano, a linebacker who was a blocker on the play. They snapped the ball to him, but they used up too much time. Did not get the play off in time. The 30-second clock had expired. So the trick play, which didn't look like it was going anywhere anyway, is stopped altogether by the penalty.
But the Bears don't have an option in that particular case. It's delay of game, and you take it, but the play was dead before it happened.
Green Bay,
So
violation of the 30-second count. 4th down.
Schubert moves up to the 12-yard line again, and Beverly back at his own 45 for this try. He'll kick it.
Oh, nice one.
Schubert, fair catches at the 8-yard line of the Chicago Bears. The Packer is down, and it'll be first down there for the Chicago Bears. Well, next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, you'll be seeing the USTA Women's Indoor Championships. Highlights of the finals will be televised, and that same-day coverage. That comes from Minneapolis. Also, the Jockey Club Gold Cup, the 60th running, live from Belmont Park. And the World's Strongest Men, the second event of the series, featuring the Steel Bar Bend. You're going to see a couple of NFL linemen in there. Big John Matuszak of the Oakland Raiders and John Kolb of the Steelers will be in that event. And also, of course, we'll have an update on the World Series with Pete Rose joining Dick Stockton.
It has to be kind of a weak piece of steel. You can't bend steel, can you?
Well, I don't know. We'll find out. The man down is Howard Sampson, reserve defensive back, another of the many Packer rookies. He's from Arkansas, came to camp as a free agent, made the club, playing on the specials teams, and apparently hurt by a Bears block as he tried to zero in on Steve Schubert. So the Pack got the Bears down here where they want them, in the inside the 10-yard line following the Beverly punt. We are still scoreless. Time winding down in the first period. Jim Ryan and Johnny Morris here on a beautiful autumn day. Temperature of 48 degrees, Lambeau Field. There's some wind, about 8 miles an hour. Hard to say whether it's being a factor on the field. And they're helping Sampson off. We mentioned 11 rookies made the team this year. There are 4 new starters on defense. There are 6 new starters on offense for Green Bay from a year ago.
Bart Starr, just I think last year was the first year he had his own real draft. His first 2 years here, he had to give up draft choices that were given up before he even got there. So he has some key players that are in there that were drafted last year that are coming through so well for them this year.
32-yard punt by Beverly has the Bears first down at their own 8. Harper. Not much. Trying the right side. Gary Weaver put the tackle on him, number 52. The only veteran on the linebacking core of the Green Bay Packers, 6th-year man from Fresno State. There's Bill Curry talking to his offensive line.
You can see one emphasis that the Chicago Bears are doing. They're giving the ball to Roland Harper quite a bit. He took quite a shot last week against Oakland, but he's coming back playing well. Tough cookie.
Harper muscled his way for 2 on that play. 2nd and 8, they jump to the pro set. Wide left is Richards, wide right is Scott. Cutting back is Payton. Good blocking in the middle. It is Steve Luke stopping him, but not before a first down out at the 20-yard line.
What a block by Reeve Sorey, number 69 on Hunt. Watch the right side of your screen. 69 cuts down 55, Michael Hunt, and that is what allows Payton to get through the line. He has such quickness, finally brought down by a host of Green Bay Packers. Good play by the Bears, good blocking the interior line.
Weaver got in on the tackle low after Lucan met him high. Terry Jones in the game. Dave Roller out, and that's going to end the first period here at Lambeau Field. And we are still scoreless, having had 3 turnovers here in the first period. Chicago and Green Bay zip.
The financial capital of America. Home to hundreds of investment firms. But whose thinking is sought by corporations and governments? Who is quoted almost every day in America's business press? Yet who always has time to help any investor of any size? You know who. There are lots of investment firms, but there's only one, Merrill Lynch.
The Computer Society. It's big news everywhere, and now it's in color TV. Computer Color 330 from Magnavox. Computer Color 330 with 25% more lines of resolution. A sharper, crisper color picture than ever before possible. Touch-tune television with Computer Color 330. New from Magnavox. Now from Magnavox, free remote control for a limited time only when you buy any Computer Color 330 Videomatic TV.
This is Uniflow motor oil from Exxon. Change to it, and after break-in, here's what it could do for you. It could save you money because it could save you gas. About $2 worth for each quart it takes to make the change. That amounts to a gas savings of about $10 between oil changes. Uniflow from Exxon saves money, saves gas. Change after change after change after change after change.
We are about to begin the second period here, and you can see that in another game at St. Louis, Baltimore is gone ahead of the Cardinals 7-3 in the second period. It is Bears first down. They're defending to our left in white, Green Bay to our right in green. Payton, met by Weaver at the 25-yard line. Steve Luke in on it again with Weaver. That combination stopping Payton on his last run. Sorey and Lick doing the blocking on that right side, and Payton doing the hard running for 5. 2nd and 5, maybe 5.5. Johnny and I were talking while you folks were watching the commercial, wondering whether Steve Schubert would be credited with a run from the scrimmage, or Baschnagel would be credited with a run from scrimmage on that high snap.
I don't think so.
He wouldn't want it, Brian, I'm sure. Greg Latta juggles and holds on, takes the hit from Luke. Did not get much on the play. The pass is good for about a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Steve Luke is leading the Packers in tackles. He had 40 going into this game, and he's a hard tackler. In fact, the whole Packer defensive secondary hits you. They'll hit you, and as will the Bears. Two of the hardest hitting secondaries in the NFL right here in this game. You're seeing it right here.
3rd and 4.
Payton gets the call. Payton slashes through there, and another loose ball. Green Bay recovers. Walter Payton, trying desperately for that first down marker, appeared to have it, but Steve Luke comes up with a loose ball. The Bears disputing that, but the signal from the officials is Packer ball.
It's very hard to tell. I think Johnny Gray, number 24, is the one who comes up late there and jars the ball loose as Payton goes through the line, is hit, and let's see if he's down. There's 24 making the hit, and I tell you just can't tell from the pileup of people, but it looks like they almost stole the ball from him. That happened to me one time. I was on the bottom of a pile, the whistle blew, everybody was getting up, and one of the Packers took the ball out of my hands and got up and said, "I got it," and they gave him the ball.
Well, he may have stripped it from Walter there. He couldn't see for sure on our replay. The point is the Pack has the ball. First down at the Chicago 32-yard line. Turdell Middleton, inside handoff, and has good yardage inside the 25 of the Bears. Finally, Plank there to put the hit on him. And a good block by Darrell Goforth out that right side, pulling.
Green Bay has a couple of good pulling guards. Mel Jackson had a real good game last week. David Whitehurst is now 3 for 5. Last week he was 14 of 18 for 230 yards against the Detroit Lions. What a game he had. In fact, what a game the entire Packer team had. They averaged 9 yards every time they snapped the ball.
It is second, about 3.5 for Green Bay, threatening here. Slot formation left. Thompson in the slot. And the movement there by Rich McGeorge, the tight end, number 81. Flags down, and it's safe to say the call will go against McGeorge, especially since the officials are talking to the Bears.
Green Bay had 43 penalties going into this game. That's a lot of penalties. They've made up for it with aggressiveness and turnovers and interceptions. They have 12 interceptions going. Look at the top of your screen there. There goes McGeorge, and that was a flagrant movement too soon.
Well, and Bart Starr doesn't like mistakes by anybody, but certainly not by 9-year veterans. McGeorge, clearly the veteran along that line. Cook, the tackle, a second-year man. Jackson, Goforth, McCarron, all youngsters.
Both 81 and 76 offense. Second down.
Well, they gave Stokes part of that crime as well. The left tackle, number 76, Tim Stokes, came over from Washington in a trade and playing there for Mark Konkar, the only starter who is injured for Green Bay this season. Whitehurst wants to throw. Complete to Middleton. Campbell gets him inside the 20, and he has a first down. Cordell Middleton off to quite a start this season for Green Bay.
Good execution by the Packers. As you can see, Middleton goes out of the backfield, turns downfield, and all of a sudden just flipped around, caught the pass, was perfect, and finally 2 or 3 Bears, including Campbell, bring him down. But the Packers are on the move.
Ball spotted at the 18-yard line of Chicago. We have had 3 fumbles so far in this game. And then the play in which the Bears high snap forced Bassnagel to be dropped back at the Chicago 39.
273.
First down, Green Bay. Whitehurst under pressure lost his balance, but he had heat coming from Hart and Buffon blitzing from the left side.
There was a little mix-up on the snap. I think he got the ball a little bit late between the center and the quarterback, and the Bears had a little blitz on with 55, Doug Buffon coming, and it's what you call a busted play. Doug Buffon playing in his 161st game for the Chicago Bears, which ties a record held by Bobby Joe Green, former Bear punter. 161 games is a lot of football games.
Oh, boy. 13th season. 34 years of age, can still do it. Second and about 21. Big play by the Bears defensively. This is complete to Thompson. He has nowhere to go. Fensick, good coverage on him. Spivey and Campbell there as well, but it was Fensick, the safety, coming up to force him out at the 23-yard line of the Bears. Gained about 7 on the play.
The Packers really haven't gone after the Bear cornerbacks, the 2 Mike Spivey and Terry Schmidt, who are backups to Ellis and Livers. They really haven't tested them yet. We'll see what happens as the Bears make some adjustments in their defense. Len Walderscheid comes in.
So we took out 2 linebackers, right?
Yes, and they brought in Heron, comes in, and Walderscheid. So they have
Heron, number 51, the 4th linebacker. Walderscheid, the extra DB. 3rd and long. Bears with pressure. Whitehurst, incomplete. First time he's really tried to force the ball. There were 2 men on Middleton. Walderscheid and Heron, the 2 men who came in, were on the coverage. And Whitehurst, under pressure, tried to force it through there, and it's incomplete. So it brings up 4th down, and the Bears hold, and we are still scoreless. Chester Marco will try to remedy that. Number 13, the place kicker, with 11:19 remaining first half.
And Bobby Douglas is the holder, former Bear quarterback, now with the Green Bay Packers.
Bobby picked up on waivers from Oakland. Will spot it at the 31, a 41-yard try for Chester Marco. And it's good. Chester Marco opens the scoring here at Lambeau Field, and here's the plaudits from the home crowd with 11:15 to play first half. Green Bay 3, Chicago nothing.
From the Sierras to the Smokies, people are discovering what makes the great outdoors great.
Beer makes it good.
There's just one Schlitz.
There's no debate.
Nothing else comes near.
Beer makes it good.
When you're out of Schlitz.
Schlitz makes it great.
You're out of beer.
11 million times a day, America reaches for a Schlitz. Every drop show-lagered for quality since 1849.
Schlitz makes it like no other good. Schlitz makes it great.
Look, Master, bandits have kidnapped the schoolmarm.
Let's get him.
Our Ranger's got some, Cookie. This Ranger Lariat is a 79 Ford, and it's built top with top twin I-beam front suspension, an optional 4-speed overdrive.
You didn't think you could get away from our Ford, did you? So long, Cookie.
Where are you two going, man?
We're riding off into the sunset.
Muttonhead, the sunset's in the other direction.
Top Ford. America's best-selling pickups.
Chester Marco, who has just kicked a 41-yard field goal, prepares to kick it off, and you're looking at Steve Schubert and Lenny Walderscheid at the top of your screen, standing inside the 5 of Chicago, awaiting the kickoff. Green Bay has opened the scoring. we have had 3 fumbles so far, and the last one by Peyton led to the Green Bay score. And that goes out of bounds at about the 15, so Marco will have to do it over again. Maybe they're afraid of Lenny Walderscheid, who ran a long one back last week.
Yes, he had an 80-yard return against the Raiders, which almost gave the Bears a victory. They did get a field goal out of it, but still lost the game in overtime. Virgil Liver's wife, by the way, Linda, had a little baby boy. I shouldn't say little. He was 10 pounds, 12 ounces.
Wow.
Alexander Gerard Livers. And also Packer coach Dick LeBeau, his wife Nancy, had a baby too. So they talk about this zero population. I'm not so sure. The last few months, you notice a lot of babies being born.
Looks like the Livers maybe they're going to produce a linebacker instead of another cornerback in the family. Big baby. So Marco will have to do it again from the 30-yard line. Walderscheid and Schubert have a few words with each other. They're going to change over. Walderscheid moved down to the right-hand side, and Schubert moved up to the left-hand side. Marco kicks to Schubert. Schubert takes it at the 7. Schubert out over the 25 to about the 28-yard line, where Jim Gano, reserve linebacker number 51, put the tackle on him. Well, tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes has more fascinating stories to shed light on the American scene. And then you're invited to make the single scene with Mary Tyler Moore and company. More Laughter is next on the agenda with All in the Family and Alice. And capping off tonight on CBS, the great new drama, Kaz. So keep your dial tuned right here. CBS tonight. First down, Chicago. Latta jumps over to make the strong side right. Harper bulling his way ahead and getting some help there by Ted Albrecht, the tackle number 64, but Green Bay really stacked up that side.
And you notice how when Greg Latta moves over to get to the strong side on the other side, the Packers immediately shift to a weak side strength. You'll notice the defensive line and linebackers shifting, and they're trying to offset what the Bears are trying to do and getting their running attack going back to the weak side.
Ezra Johnson, the first man to hit him, and he gained about 5.5. Real good running effort by Harper. Latta again comes right. Walter Payton shakes off one tackler but cannot make the turn. It is Steve Luke running him out of bounds. Very little, if any, gain on the play.
Well, they just strung it out, Tim, and stopped Payton, and that time they shifted Latta again. The defensive line moved over a gap to the left where the linebackers went to the right to compensate for it, and they just strung out the run. Good defense by the Packers.
With Mike Butler, number 77, really doing the stringing out. Second-year man from Kansas. They are very pleased with these two youngsters at defensive end. First and second picks a year ago. It is 3rd and 7. 5 defensive backs are in.
Taking the blitz.
They've got them all back there. Good rush. The pass complete to Payton. The flag is down. Payton has first down yardage over the 40-yard line. Let's see what the call is. Looks like a holding call signaled. Discussion by the officials, and it's against the Bears. There will be no first down.
The most upset player is 65, Noah Jackson. Let's take a look at him. He's over on the other side of the line. Here is Dennis Lick blocking, and they may have called it over on Dennis Lick on his side against Butler. Not against Butler, but he was blocking on Butler. Payton got the first down, but it didn't make any difference now after that call. And the Bears go deeper in their own territory. Let's hear the call.
Holding, number 70, offense. Repeat, 3rd down.
3rd down.
And it was Dennis Lick.
So Mike Butler, with that kind of pressure, forcing Lick to grab onto him, makes a good defensive play. Green Bay, the penalty hurts Chicago. Draw play, Harper gets to the 30 with some hard running, but well short of the first down as Mike Douglas, the extra linebacker in, another rookie from San Diego State, number 65, made the tackle.
The Bears go with the draw, but they will give him the draw on that kind of a long yardage situation, figuring that he's not going to run for enough for the first down. You can see Johnny Gray there in on the tackle, and the Bears are forced to punt.
Steve Odom is a lone deep man as we watch Bob Parsons, number 86, standing at a 16. He hits it from the 21.
Oh, nice
Good
punch.
kick. Excellent. Odom signals fair catch. He's backed up to the 28 of Green Bay. So we've got 9:33 remaining with the Green Bay Packers leading it 3-0.
When you're out here, your toolbox is back there, be glad you got a Crescent adjustable wrench.
When you're up here and your toolbox is down there, be glad you got a Crescent adjustable wrench.
Crescent, one tool that adjusts to fit many different size nuts, even metrics. But it's not a Crescent unless it says Crescent on the handle. For a limited time, get this Crescent wrench plus these Crescent pliers for one low price. Crescent, another fine name from the Cooper Group.
When a guy uses a quality motor oil, he's saying, engine trouble, stay away from my door. What he wants is protection, and that's what STP motor oil is all about. His special formula has 7 important additives. It's made to protect and lubricate an engine for 15,000 miles. That's extra protection, and it's tested and proven, so try it with confidence. Yeah, for my car, it's STP.
Well, the Buffalo Bills, 2-3 in the Eastern Division of the AFC, are tied with the New York Jets, but the Jets, who got off to a pretty good start, lost Richard Todd. Today, they're doing it to Buffalo, 42-7 in the third period. Kevin Long has 3 touchdowns rushing. Matt Robinson has just passed to Derek Gaffney for another Jets score.
There he goes.
Deep,
short.
Whitehurst.
It's short.
Short and incomplete. Intended for Lofton. On the coverage, Terry Schmidt, number 44. So the Pack throwing on first down. Bart Starr said, well, we don't throw a whole lot on first down like maybe we used to when I was the quarterback, but he said you might see it a couple of times today. We have seen it twice so far.
And there is the brain trust, Bart Starr and Zeke. Look at Zeke giving the signals. There it is. Can you make
like
that out?
Casey Stengel.
Last week I watched, tried to pick up with the signal. You just can't do it. They've got a real good system going there.
Well, the baseball system has come to football last 2 or 3 years in the NFL. Many teams sending in the signals to the quarterback.
Uh-oh, fumble.
Whitehurst dropped it, but fell on his own fumble. Little trouble making the turn away from the center, Larry McCarron. And that hurts. Brings up third down.
Okay, Zeke's going to go to work again here. Get ready. There it is. Hands, palms up. Left hand out on the hips. Nod the head. David says, I got it.
The one part of that I understood was where he pointed down the field towards Chicago. Right. That's the direction that hopefully he can move the ball. Loss of a yard, 3rd and 11. Andre Thompson wide left, Lofton right. Running play, Middleton. Middleton, good tackle from behind the line of scrimmage by Lenny Walderscheid, shooting up as the extra defensive back in on the pass situation. And he got maybe 2 or 3 on the play. It'll be 4th and long.
You hit it right on the head, Tim. Len Walderscheid made that play. He came from the backside, turned on a lot of speed, made a great tackle.
They gained only about a yard on the play, so it's 4th and about 10.5. Steve Schubert will await the punt from David Beverly. Beverly standing inside his 15. Schubert at the 29 of the Bears. Good kick by Beverly. Fair catch, and the ball came down a little more quickly. It looked pretty good going up, so that win might be a factor. Schubert making the fair catch at the 38 of Chicago, and the Bears in good field position, but they trail 3-0.
Hey, nice. Where'd you get it?
Avis Rent-A-Car.
Avis introduces rent-a-cars you wish you owned, like the Chevy Caprice.
I think I'll park it myself.
The Cadillac Sedan DeVille. The Olds Cutlass. Buick Regal. The Pontiac Grand Prix. Rent-a-cars you wish you owned. Avis now features GM cars.
Avis, we don't know another way.
From blazing heat to paralyzing cold, season after season, the J.C. Penney battery has the power to start your car over and over, year in and year out. and it never needs water, ever. It's so dependable, it's warranted for as long as you own your car. If it ever fails to accept and hold a charge, return it with proof of purchase. We'll replace it, free. It's the last battery your car will ever need.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports Spectacular features highlights of the USTA Women's Indoor Championships, Part 2 of the world's strongest men competition, and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Neil Armstrong cannot be happy with the turnovers and misplays that his veteran team has been making against the young Packers so far. Avellini will throw first down. Up the middle, wide open, is James Scott. He makes the catch. The pass was a little lower. He had some running room, but he had to go down for the ball. And he was covered immediately by Mike McCoy, number 29.
It's a play-action pass with a pretty good fake by Avellini. So he fakes to Walter Payton, and there's a lot of room. All the linebackers were cleared out of there. And here comes James Scott down, catches it with his arms in the tummy, rather than reaching down trying to catch it with his hands and continue to run. That's when you drop the pass. Good fundamentals by James Scott.
16-yard gain and a first down for the Bears. Payton runs into his own blocker, spins off him with good coverage by the pack. Steve Luke, the safety, coming up there to not let him out.
Slow enough for you.
Mike Hunt forcing Payton wide, and Luke finishing him off. St. Louis ahead of Baltimore 10-7. The Colts still struggling along without Burt Jones. There was some talk he might get to play today, but as far as we know, he is not. And New England now in front of Philadelphia 24-7 in the third. The Eagles had been coming on well, having won 3 in a row after dropping the first 2. Avellini sideline, Richards complete, and he is inbounds before he's popped out by Willie Buchanan, number 28. And another Bears first down.
And the timing was perfect here. He was not popped out of bounds by Buchanan, so his feet really didn't have to come down inside, although I think he did anyway. As he catches the ball, right there, he's in the air and knocked out of bounds by Buchanan. The Bears have another first down.
14-yard gain on that one, Johnny. Atlanta at Pittsburgh. Steelers doing it to the Falcons, 24-0. Atlanta got a win last week against the Giants, but having their problems with the mighty Steelers, still unbeaten, and all kinds of motion. Dave Roller, and the whistles will make sure that that ball doesn't change hands, but it's a question of whether Roller was drawn over or whether he was too eager again.
Roller is claiming that Dan Neal moved a little bit to bring him off sides. We can take a good peek right here and see. I don't know. I still couldn't tell there. It looked like Roller might have jumped off to me, but it's...
Well, that Roller loves to get in the backfield. He is the real spark plug, as we referred to him earlier, of that Bears defensive team. He's a team leader, and fans here respond to his hurly-burly style of play. They like to get him on the nose of the center. And are they calling it against Chicago or against Green Bay? Against the Packers.
The officials had a long discussion over that one. And it is going to go against Green Bay.
Here's the call from Gordon.
Encroachment, number 74, defense, first down.
Slicing in to drop Harper as soon as he got the ball.
And the Packers adjusted to the Bears shift, and Anderson ended up out there on the outside, just comes knifing across, beats the block by Walter Payton, and makes the tackle. Good play by the rookie, John Anderson.
Now the Pack, a little confusion here in making the substitutions. They get Hunt back in there, and it may cost him a timeout if nothing else. Let's see.
Well, I don't know why it should cost him a timeout.
There it is. Timeout call because they just didn't get their substitutes in there in time.
Well, what difference does it make as long as they get out on the field?
I'm going to show you just how great a picture you can get on your TV set from Zenith's new video cassette recorder. Because every time you record a show, you want a picture so good, it's hard to tell from the original program. Here's how good the picture is with a Zenith video cassette recorder. You've been watching it for yourself. You get the picture quality you want and the reliability you expect from Zenith.
Here's 100 years of tradition coming at you.
Here comes the king.
Here comes the king. Here comes the big number one.
Here comes the king.
But why the beer? The king is second to none.
When you say Bud, the king is coming. Let's hear the call. When you say Bud, you've said it all. When you say Bud, you've said it all.
Johnny, I guess the Packers were forced to take the timeout because they had fouled up their substitution. They were going to be playing a man short. And so they now have only one timeout left in this first half. 6:20 remaining. Bears 2nd and 8. Avellini, lots of time, incomplete, intended for Payton. He was covered by the linebacker Anderson, number 60, and then ranging back to help out was the middle linebacker, number 55, Hunt.
Let's see if we can see if that ball was tipped. It was rather high. Here comes the pass rush by Roller, steady, and here comes Butler, but Avellini gets it off, and it was tipped slightly, I think, and it was up and over everybody. Except Gray, who was downfield, almost intercepted a shoestringer.
And Anderson did a pretty good job on the single coverage on Payton. 3rd down, important play here for the Bears. They have not been able to sustain a drive. So, Walter Payton, and he does not have it by a whole lot. It was Butler getting him, but rather a misplay between Payton and Avellini here.
This was a dangerous play, a collision, as you say, which knocked the timing off, so Walter started ad-libbing and did a pretty good job, but he just couldn't get the first down. Finally, Luke is in on there, Butler is on there, and here comes Bob Thomas going for his 11th straight field goal. Last time he didn't get a chance to kick because of the bad snap, so we'll see what happens this time.
Johnny, how about the call there? What do you think?
You mean why they ran?
Come on, I put you out on the limb there.
Payton can anytime break one.
Yes, he can. From the 34. It is short. A 44-yard try by Bob Thomas is no good. And so the Packers have held the Chicago Bears and will take over with 5:25 remaining first half. Tomorrow night here on CBS, got to be my favorite new show of the season, WKRP in Cincinnati. That will be followed by a full-hour edition of MASH and the annual bash from Nashville, the Country Music Awards with host Johnny Cash. Some of the country stars you'll see, his wife June, and along with Roy Clark, Dolly Parton, Charlie Pride, Ben Campbell, many more. Tomorrow night here on CBS. First down, Packers from their own 26. Take it to 27. Marty Smith. Tommy Hicks on the tackle after a gain of about 3. Out to the 30-yard line. There's Zeke Bratkowski again, sending in the signs to David Whitehurst. Some old Navy semaphore there or something. I think this is just great, being able to see the signals like that. Whether they've learned from the baseball guys. Next thing, we'll have a convention of football coaches and baseball managers to discuss sending in signs. 2nd and 7, Packers slot formation right. Middleton. Middleton to the 35-yard line. Bringing up a 3rd down as Tommy Hart got back to put the stop on him, number 53.
That's the bunt sign.
I like that one where he points down the field there.
Now, Whitehurst has also that wristband, and if he is confused, he picked up one of those signals, and he'll look at his wrist for a key play that he has to come up with if he doesn't understand the signals.
3rd down. Close to 2 yards. Needed for the first, and Whitehurst with lots of time. Almost picked off. Intended for Middleton. Gary Campbell, number 59, saw it coming. And had the pass been a little better, being up in the air, Campbell might be in the end zone right now, but it was so low that he couldn't grab it.
That was about it. If it was a good pass, it could have been an interception. So the Packers will have to give up the ball. It's a lot different than last week for Green Bay when they moved up and down the field with no problems. Today they're having some problems against the Bear defense, which is banged up. So as Bart Starr says, my team is up and down on offense, and he hopes they're up today.
Steve Schubert awaiting the punt from this man, number 11, David Beverly. Beverly hits from his 25. Good punt again, hangs up a little bit. Schubert signals fair catch at the 25 of Chicago. So the Bears will start from their first down. They have not been able to move the ball consistently here in the first half. Next week on CBS, our NFL doubleheader action will feature these regional games: Detroit at Atlanta, Tampa Bay at the New York Giants, the Redskins at Philadelphia. That's an important contest. Dallas will be at St. Louis. The doubleheader games will have the Rams at Minnesota, another big one, and New Orleans at San Francisco. Check your local listings for the games and times in your area. Harper is buried after a gain of only a yard. John Anderson, the rookie linebacker from Michigan, and Ezra Johnson, the second-year defensive end, on the stop. There's Rich McGeorge, veteran tight end number 81 on the Packers bench. We should mention that Howard Sampson, who was hurt on a kicking situation back in the first period, will not return today. He suffered a knee injury, rookie from Arkansas. 2nd and 8. Avellini has time. Up the middle. Tip. Away, intended for James Scott. It was Mike Hunt, the rookie middle linebacker, number 55, getting a hand on the ball.
He prevented a sure completion here as Avellini goes for the pass, and the pass was right on the dime, except number 55, Hunt, will put his hand up, and it was headed right for James Scott, right in the breadbasket. And look at that. Good play by Hunt. And it fell harmlessly, but that was a clutch play by the middle linebacker.
The third draft choice by the Packers here out of the University of Minnesota. Gone all the way in the middle so far today.
Comes a blitz.
Avellini still had time. Just threw it up. It's picked off by McCoy. Mike McCoy with running room.
Fumble.
Loose ball. Who has it?
Bears.
Bears come up with the ball, and yes, they are going to have it at the 45-yard line of Chicago.
That's the long way around, but the Chicago Bears got a first down. They don't want them. You can see the blitz coming. The Bears pick it up well. Avellini's pass was really off the mark, not downfield far enough. McCoy made the interception. Some nice, nifty open field runner. You can see James Scott come back here and get in on the tackle. Number 89 will hit him from the back here, and the ball pops loose, and the Chicago Bears will recover for a first down.
Big discussion. There's a flag down on that play as well, just to make it even more interesting. The flag was down in the Bears' backfield. Let's see the call.
It's against Green Bay, I think.
Tripping, number 75, Green Bay, during the return. Declined. First down, Chicago on the recovery.
Well, the tripping was during the return by Karl Barzalauskas. And it was James Scott who came back to make the tackle on McCoy. McCoy fumbled, and the Bears recovered. They have an interesting first down at their own 45-yard line.
First down pass.
Lots of time. Complete to Harper, the short man coming out as the release man got over the 50 to the 49. Was met there by John Anderson, number 60. The rookie linebacker has been a busy man today. Bob Barber comes into the game to replace Butler at defensive end. Barber is number 70.
One thing that is missing from the Packer defense this game is sacks. They haven't got any sacks, not putting all that much pressure on Avellini. They had 23 sacks going into this game.
Second, nearly 5. Peyton stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Johnny Gray hit him. Gary Weaver got a little bit, number 52, and Mike Hunt, pardon me, the middle linebacker, number 55. Maybe initial contact. Got maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and 3. Again, the Bears tested in a third down situation.
They're bringing in Robin Earl and Steve Schubert for their short yardage situation here.
Coming up to the 2-minute warning here on the first half. And so the Green Bay Packers have the only points on the board in a fumble-filled first half. They lead it 3-0.
The problem? Credit verification in a hurry.
Can you hurry it up, please? My plane leaves in 2 minutes.
I'm doing the best I can, sir.
The Bell System solution. A system that verifies credit in seconds.
My plane leaves in 4 minutes. Can I make it?
No problem.
Now ready for departure. Line 323, now 40.
That's it?
That's it. There you go.
Thanks.
Another case that shows the system is the solution.
Since 1903, there have been more than 2,500 new cars introduced in America. But the best-selling new car ever introduced was this one, Ford Fairmont. Presenting Fairmont 79, again with lots of room for the money, with a great EPA mileage estimate for today's driving, with a range of sticker prices that are surprisingly low. From sedans to wagons to exciting Futura, the best-selling new car ever introduced, Ford Fairmont. Test drive America's success car at your local Ford dealer.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, and an interesting statistic on our unofficial stats. Neither team has been able to convert a third down situation. The Bears have another one here. They're both 0 for 6 in that department, and it is a part of the reason, along with the turnovers, that neither team has been able to keep drives going. The Green Bay score came following the Chicago fumble. Avellini wants it badly here. Flags everywhere. Pass is complete on a real good catch and a rather good throw by Avellini, who had a man on him as he threw the ball. He strong-armed it, complete to Walter Payton. But let's see how the flags shake down. There were a bunch in the Chicago backfield.
One thing we can say is that Avellini will hang tough in that pocket. They're all over him, and he is going to go down and take his punishment. He gets the pass off, but it's going to go to no avail because the penalty is against Chicago for holding.
Well, the Packers had the pressure on. Sometimes you don't have to get the sack to make the defensive play back there. In this case, it forced the Bears into holding against that pressure. Payton made the catch with first down yardage to spare by about 5 yards, but as Johnny said, it's not going to count.
Payton, by the way, is 10 carries for 34 yards so far, and Turdell Middleton is 7 carries for 28 yards, so neither one of them are burning up the turf out here today.
Here's the call.
Holding, number 70, offense, third down.
Dennis Lick, guilty of holding.
That's twice for Dennis.
Bad news for Steelers fans. Benny Cunningham suffered a knee ligament injury in the Steeler game today, and he will be gone for at least 6 weeks. Third and long, draw. Payton running hard, but is stopped at the 48-yard line by Mike Douglas, the rookie reserve linebacker, in on the third and long situation. And again, the Bears will have to give up the ball.
And that was certainly a saving tackle by Douglas as the Bears crossed him up, and Payton would have been gone had it not been for this tackle by Douglas to prevent him from breaking into the open and going a long, long way.
Douglas, the 5th pick this year by the Packers in San Diego State. Schubert. Parsons kicking it to Odom. Odom lets it go. Schubert is down there in the end zone, hoping to down that ball for the Bears, but it'll be a touchback.
Good play by Odom. He prevented the Schubert from getting anywhere near the ball.
48-yard touch by Parsons into the end zone. The Packers will take possession on their own 20.
48-yard kick. Bob Parsons. We have 1:10 remaining here in the first half. Still 3-0 Green Bay.
And let's see what the Packers do now. As you mentioned, 1:10 left. They're ahead 3-0. Will they settle for it, or will they try and go down the field and get themselves a field goal or a touchdown before halftime?
We have had 4 fumbles here in the first half. That, with the inability to convert third down situations, has led to this low score. Reverse, Thompson slipped. He was trapped anyway by Tommy Hart, who made the tackle. Also, Osborne was in there. They were both waiting for Thompson to come back the other way. And a Bear is down and hurt. Middleton got the first handoff and gave it to Thompson coming back. Rather razzle-dazzle for down deep in there with time winding down. 59 seconds now on the clock. See who the down Bear is at this point, and holding that leg is always a bad sign. Let's hope that it's not a serious injury.
By a process of elimination, it might be Brad Shearer. He's the one I can't see that was out on the field.
Well, Ron Rideouch, who is dressed but has been sitting it out with a turf toe. What is a turf toe, some of you may ask? Well, it's an injury that comes from playing on the artificial surface, and it really can be a very painful, severe kind of thing. Rideouch can play, but we may see Jerry Myers in here ahead of him if it is Shearer down. Meanwhile, in the fourth period, Washington has finally gone in front of the Detroit Lions 14-12. Joe Theismann passing to Gene Fugit. 21-yard touchdown pass. It is Shearer, the rookie from Texas, the injured Bear.
I asked Brad Shearer what is the difference between college and pro football, and he said two things. One is that he can't get used to standing on the sidelines. Of course, he's getting to play today. And the other is that he went through his entire high school and college career without an injury and has been hurt 2 or 3 times since he came to the Bears this year as their 3rd-round draft choice, the first player that the Bears picked. So we hope Brad Shearer is okay. It looks like he's not seriously hurt.
He's walking pretty strongly off the field. So let's hope that the knock on what appeared to be a knock on the knee is just a knock and a bruise and nothing more serious. So it is 2nd and long for Green Bay following the reverse that didn't work. Back sets a wing back, and then they give it to Barty Smith, just going straight ahead.
Barty Smith on the ball.
Got maybe 3 yards on the play, bringing up 3rd down and 49 seconds remaining. The Bears call timeout. They'd love to get the ball here with a few seconds left on the clock and trailing 3-0.
Bears using a lot of the 3-4 defense. That time Muckensturm came, and he was the one that messed up that play as far as Green Bay is concerned. The Bears can get the ball. All they have to do is hold them this time, and we'll certainly have a few seconds with the ball after the punt.
Whitehurst over there discussing things with Starr and Bratkowski as they use the Chicago timeout to formulate their strategy.
He's only starting his 12th game as a Green Bay Packer, and Bart Starr says he's responded so well. This year is more of a pressure year. Last year they were out of it, and of course he was going in and learning. Now everything he does, a mistake is so crucial. That puts a lot of extra pressure on a quarterback.
Dickey was to be the Packer quarterback, but he continues to be plagued by injuries as he has throughout his NFL career, and he was hurt last year and hasn't recovered from that leg injury as yet, and it's not expected he'll play at all this year. Meanwhile, David Whitehurst, the young man from Furman, has been doing a fine job. Walderscheid is in to give the Bears 5 defensive backs in the 3rd and long. Slot formation right, they're going to run at Middleton. Middleton breaks 1 tackle, but is pulled down at the 20-yard line by Muckensturm, number 58, and Spivey, number 47. He got about 5 yards on the carry, but Green Bay will have to punt. 39 seconds on the clock. And the Bears call another timeout, their last of the first half. Baltimore leads St. Louis 14-10 in the 2nd period. Bill Troop passing to Mac Alston for the Colts score. Colts struggling along without David Taylor and George Coons, their regular offensive tackles, and of course Burt Jones at quarterback. Bill Troop carrying the load, and they have won only 1 and lost 4. Tampa Bay in front of Kansas City. That's not so much of a surprise anymore when you have Tampa Bay in front of you, Johnny. That's a pretty good football team. 10-3 in the 2nd period.
These two teams have been playing one another for a long time, since 1921, when the Bears won the first game 20-0. The series so far is 62 wins for the Bears, 49 for the Packers, and 6 ties. And a man watching this game on TV, George Halas, had an awful lot to do with a lot of those victories.
118 meetings. That is some kind of football history. Beverly standing at his 5-yard line. Schubert at the Bears' 40. Good kick. Excellent kick by Beverly. Drives Schubert back, who fair catches at the 30 of the Chicago Bears. That is a clutch punt by David Beverly. Beverly came in with a 38.4-yard average on 27 punts. That one went for 51 yards. At halftime, we'll be going to the NFL Today, CBS Control in New York. Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy, Irv Cross with scores and highlights from around the league. And as the league continues to provide a lot of interesting upsets in the first few weeks of the season, and some in the works today, and we'll get caught up on all of them at halftime. First down 30 seconds on the clock. Roland Harper goes straight ahead. He's stopped by Barzalauskas, the huge right defensive tackle, 6'6", 265-pounder from Indiana. Never did quite come through for the New York Jets. 50-year man, picked up by the Pack in the off-season, and says he's happy here under Bart Starr and company.
That's going to be the last play of the first half.
So they just let it tick away, and Green Bay will take this lead into the locker room at Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers 3, the Chicago Bears nothing. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And Johnny, this is not the kind of a game we expected.
No, it isn't. The Packers lead at 3-0, as you know, but the Bears have the yardage 166-62. But I see a sign right down there that says Green Bay is no Peyton place, and that really has been the case today. He does have 45 yards and 11 carries. Harper has 11 carries for 40 yards, but there aren't the big holes. He's not running wild, and I think the Bears have got to get that running game going if they're going to, to win this ball game. I would imagine, as far as Chicago is concerned, that if they don't start running, get some success earlier in the third quarter, they may go to the pass because they have been more successful on the passing game. As far as the Packers are concerned, they only have 62 yards, but they're ahead, and that's what counts. They've been playing aggressive, tough defense, but I think there's a weakness on the pass there, and the Bears might try and take advantage of it.
Well, the only score came off one of the 4 fumbles in the first half that led to the Green Bay field goal, and each team has fumbled twice, and in every case, in all 4 cases, it has stopped what appeared to be drives that were getting started. Neither team has been able to sustain an offense, and that's reflected in the third down stats. Each team failing in 7 tries, 0 for 7, and that's certainly got to be a big factor, Johnny. And I got to believe that Neil Armstrong is perhaps more disappointed than Green Bay, not just at the score, than Green Bay's Bart Starr. His veteran team is making the mistakes. You expect more of it from a young team like Green Bay.
Yes, and you talk about, that's what Bart Starr's been saying about his team. He knows that his offense is going to be sporadic. Well, it has been sporadic. So great last week. This week, against a banged-up Bear defense that hasn't been able to move the ball, and that's going to be what Bart Starr's going to try. He's probably going on the blackboard right now. You got to do this, you got to do that, and who knows what he's saying. But I think we might see a little bit of a different ball game coming out. I think maybe a little more consistency by both teams.
Well, one thing about the Green Bay defense, if you could pick out one player who was impressive that first half, was a young linebacker, John Anderson, who's really done a good job in the first half. Well, we'll see what happens here in half number 2 when we return in just a moment.
It was a long, hard run, but I finally won. Now it's all behind. Got blue ribbon on my mind. I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind. More and more lately I find
The premium taste of Pabst. It's a lot to look forward to.
I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind.
What would it cost to replace your car's muffler, including installation?
Oh, I'd say about $50.
No, wait, $45.
Would be around $30.
I guess about $40.
The aluminized Sears muzzler is only $19.99.
That's half of what I guessed. It's hard to believe. On a Cadillac?
Is that really true?
$19.99.
That's a terrific price, with installation included.
That's something.
Should have known it. Sears.
The muzzler, only $19.99 installed. Only at Sears.
That's my team, the Green Bay Packers. And I'm Chester Markle. Come with me to a special part of Wisconsin. This is Indian country, where the Dakotas and the Iroquois used to live. It's beautiful land, filled with streams and lakes. Here at the Milwaukee Public Museum, you can see how the Indian used to live. The culture of a people is one of the richest heritages you can preserve. But being relatively new to America, I know that sometimes heritage isn't enough. You also need to adjust and change. That's why our United Way and the Milwaukee Indian Health Board are determined to help Native Americans get good jobs, good health care, and good housing. They know you can't bring back the old ways, but you can make the future a lot better. The United Way works in Wisconsin. It works in your town too. Thanks to you, it works for all of us. The United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. There are halftime statistics, and you can see that both the passers throwing at 50% and better, but neither quarterback and the rest of his offense able to generate much in the way of sustained offense leading to scores. We have only the field goal by Chester Marco, and that came following a turnover. Walter Payton's fumble recovered by the Pack at the Chicago 32, and Marco kicked a 41-yard field goal for the only score of the first half. And, you know, a year ago, Johnny, I know you covered the Packers a couple of times, and I did in our CBS season. And so many familiar names are gone. Willard Harrell, Ollie Smith, Dennis Havig, Steve Knutson, Bert Askson, Rick Scribner, Dick Himes. They have 6 new starters on offense. And defensively, names like Fred Carr, Don Hansen, Clarence Williams, Dave Purifoy, Tom Toner, Terry Randolph, Tim Moresco, which is a remarkable turnover. And to have a team that, even though they're young, and yes, they're making some mistakes, I think the coaching staff here has done a great job in molding a team that doesn't look like it has 11 rookies out there.
Yes, they've done a fine job, 4-1, and who knows, they could be 5-1. They have a horrendous schedule for the rest of the season, much more difficult than the Bears. Of course, the new system in the NFL is that the first and fourth place teams have the same schedules, and the second and third from the previous year. So the Bears have the best of it as far as schedule is concerned for the rest of this season. So the Packers, if they win, they would have a 2-game bulge over the Bears, but a much more difficult schedule.
Well, I think that's a real good point, and the Bears and Packers both coming into this game with winning records, nonetheless have not beaten any of the really tough teams. When the Bears ran into the top clubs like Minnesota and Oakland, they lost them. Of course, they played Oakland awfully tough last week in a game that could have gone either way. When you go to overtime, you have to say that. But they have yet to beat a real strong team, and the same must be said of the Green Bay Packers. This is really the Pack's first test against a quality team, apart from the one against Oakland, which they lost. So they're finding things out about themselves here today, and the Bears' Bob Thomas kicks off from our left, and it's Steve Odom taking it at the 7-yard line to our right for Green Bay. Good return. Odom flying out over the 45 to the 48-yard line. And Green Bay gets off to an outstanding start. The newcomer to the Bears, Wentford Gaines, number 36, and Robin Earl, number 39, made the tackle.
Well, here comes Odom up the sidelines. He had a premonition he was going to go back across the field, but then he decided to go where the straight ahead, a straight line is the best way, and he almost got through. Finally, 4 or 5 Bears bring him down, but the Packers have good field position.
And look at this score. Detroit has gone back in front of Washington, 19-14 on a 5-yard touchdown by Rick Kane. 5:52 remaining regulation time. First down, Packers. Middleton dances over the 50 to the 46-yard line of Chicago. Gary Campbell pulled him down. Coming up to help out was Doug Plank, but good running by Middleton.
The word from the Bear bench is that Brad Shear was not seriously hurt, and that he is okay, and he is out on the field there, so I guess he's okay, huh?
I guess
if he wasn't okay, he wouldn't be out there.
2nd and 3 after a 7-yard gain. And the way he walked off, it looked promising, and we're glad to see him back. Barty Smith tripped up right at the line of scrimmage by number 72, Brad Shear. Did he get the first down? It's going to be close.
Now he's playing nose man right over the center, number 72, Brad Shear. And pretty well blocked there by McCarron, but gets in on the tackle. Great play by Shear, actually being blocked by McCarron, stumbles out of it and gets in front of the ball carrier and brings him down, and it's going to be very close for a first down, a little short.
Brad Shear, 6'3", 254-pounder All-American from Texas. First pick by the Bears, taken in the 3rd round. They didn't have it in the first 2 rounds. Cleveland in front of New Orleans, 14-9, and this looks interesting. We're reading a note handed to us here that the normally left-footed Rich Zarro kicked a 20-yard field goal for the Saints with his right foot. So we can only presume that he maybe had to scramble around a little bit to get the kick away. I don't know quite what happened there, but that's the score.
He probably drop-kicked it like Patty Driscoll used to do for the Chicago Bears back in the old days.
3rd and short, the Packers trying to keep the drive going following the good return by Steve Odom on the second half kickoff. Big Barty Smith, loose ball. Has he still got it?
He's got it, but he doesn't have the first down.
Well, that'll depend on where they mark it. I was about 0 for 4 making calls like this last week in the Baltimore-Philadelphia game, Johnny, so I'm going to leave you out there to say, you said they got it.
No, I said
they didn't. Said they didn't get it. Okay, let's see. They got a measure?
No, they're going to...
No, they're not.
They did not get it.
All right, John. You got great eyes. And you figured out where he was going to spot it, too. Either way I would have called it, I would have been wrong.
Last week, Beverly faked a punt and threw a pass. The Bears will be ready for that if they do, because they saw it in the films last week.
Not bad position to do it in. They're in Bears territory at the 44. Lone deep man is Schubert. Beverly does kick it, and it's a short punt that comes back upfield to the 20, down there by the Packers. So Chicago will start from there and see if they can generate some consistent offense with 13:19 remaining. Third period, Green Bay 3, Bears nothing.
Are we going to be the bowling champs tonight? Yeah. Are we having a problem?
Yeah. Did I forget my press stone?
Yeah.
Take out the old, put in the 2. Put in the Prestone 2.
Protect against freeze-ups and corrosion. Take out old, weak antifreeze and put in America's most trusted antifreeze, Prestone 2.
Take out the old, put in the 2. Put in the Prestone 2.
And when you flush your cooling system, use Prestone Super Flush.
When do you say Budweiser?
Whenever the moment is right for a great beer.
When do you say Budweiser?
Whenever the good times are moving to right here.
After the work is done, while you're still having fun, the king of beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Yeah, the Packer cheerleaders, they're called the sideliners, and I guess the news is this week that they're still in business. It is first down for Chicago after a 24-yard punt by Beverly. Straight ahead, Payton to the 25-yard line, where Ezra Johnson, the right defensive end, number 78, tackled him.
And they're sure running Walter right up the middle quite a bit. Power running. Good little hole there. But he takes his punishment as 3 or 4 Packers will hit him, and he's carried 120 times going into this game, so he's already up over 130 carries for the season.
Well, they're giving him an awful lot of money to carry the ball, so they're getting their money's worth. Roland Harper has stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and by a good second effort, grabbed another yard maybe. Johnson again on the tackle. Youngster from Morris Brown.
Avellini was 8 for 12 in the first half. He did have that one interception, but the Bears' biggest success by far was throwing the ball. They've had men who were pretty open. Bax and Scott coming across. Should think that they would try and take advantage of the passing game.
Well, as time goes on, they're going to have to, because they have not got a point on the board yet. We're now in the second half. There's that inside handoff to Payton. They ran into each other the last time. This time he has first down yardage with it. So the Bears make the third down conversion here and have a first down at their 32. Johnson and Weaver on the tackle. And we got word from New Orleans, because it is kind of curious, the reason Rich Zarro kicked with his right foot, which is not his normal kicking foot, was because he hurt his left foot. They tried Tony Galbraith on an extra point and he missed it. Zarro volunteered to try that field goal and he made it with his wrong foot. Strange happenings today in the NFL. The rush is on. Avellini, sideliner incomplete. Intended for James Scott. He had some pressure from a blitzing linebacker, Weaver, but he did not throw the ball well.
A moment ago when they got the first down, that was their first third down conversion. The Bears are 1 for 8, and they did get that first down on a running play with Payton up the middle.
Scott was open again, as you had mentioned, Johnny. The receivers have been open in several situations. A couple of times, Avellini threw the ball low, one to Walter Payton, another time to James Scott, where they had nowhere to go, having to go down for the ball. So Avellini not quite as sharp passing. Oh, he is hit by Weaver. Avellini rolling out. There was nobody there on Gary Weaver, the 6th-year linebacker from Fresno State.
The Packers called the right defense. They had him blitzing. You can see Anderson 60 up on the line, and here comes Weaver, and the Bears ran right into the play. A good defensive call by the Packers. It turned out to be the right one with the offensive play that the Bears called. And it looked like it was planned that Avellini was going to try and
run all the way, didn't it?
Run all the way.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, let's bring Vince Evans in.
Third down Well, Weaver making the big play. Forces Chicago into another third down, and this time long. Avellini, and he's hit from behind, and it is caught by Barzalauskas. The defensive tackle on the right side. It was Mike Butler, I believe, who forced the play, and that may go as an interception. I don't think it touched the ground.
Somebody hit his arm as he was trying to throw the ball. Let's watch Butler, 77 on the outside, as Avellini went forward in the pocket, and there he gets his hand on his arm, and there was the ball caught by Barzalauskas, and the Green Bay Packers have a first down and a chance to go. Look at Carl there. He gets up, says, let's do it some more.
An interception by Barzalauskas after the fine defensive rush with a man on him. Butler muscled his way in to grab Avellini's arm. First down, Packers. Inside the 15 of the Bears. Barty Smith battering straight ahead. Shearer is there. Hart is there for the Bears. And they stop him at about the 11-yard line. Green Bay leads at 3-0. 10:48 remaining here in the third period. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris at Lambeau Field. Turnovers have been the story of the game.
Well, there's a Barzalauskas fan. We're looking at two teams that have won 18 world championships between them. The Packers 11 times and the Bears 7. Perennial powerhouses throughout the years. And these Green Bay fans, they want another one.
Seconds. And about 7.5. Hard running. Turdell Middleton has a first down inside the 5. Gary Fensick, number 45, put the tackle on him.
Only one man left to stop him. Good blocking. Barty Smith with a key block on Campbell. And there goes Turdell. And finally, Gary Fensick brings him down, but not until he gets down to the 4-yard line as the Packer running game is beginning to get some power. As you look at those Green Bay Packer fans, 56,000 of them. A few Bear fans up here, too.
The second-year man from Memphis State, third pick a year ago, worked his way into the starting lineup late in the season. Bart Starr said he worked hard in the preseason, wants to be the best. He's a Walter Payton fan, has the same number. First and goal. Pitch out Smith. Stopped by Hicks. Crawls forward. Let's see where they mark it. Barty Smith showing his power at 235 pounds.
And Barty Smith proved his worth that time as he dragged Don Reeves and Tom Hicks. Here's Reeves, number 57, coming up for the hit. And there is Hicks. Smith did not go down. He kept his legs going and actually got down to the 1-yard line. Ended up with a little more than a 3-yard gain. Good power running by Barty Smith.
Packer crowd. 56,267 fans jammed into Lambeau Field. And the majority of them enjoying this drive. Middleton. Did he get over? There is no official sign yet. A lot of Green Bay Packers signal touchdown, but he was stopped short. Middleton trying the right side behind Mel Jackson and Greg Cook.
It looked like he was up and over there. To me, he'll get it next time if he takes that jump like Walter Payton does. He got up and over. It was very close. It looked like he was over the end line to me, but it's hard to tell from this vantage point. They have 2 more cracks at it, and the key is going to be up and over.
Looked like Hicks was the man who stopped his forward progress in midair. They are at the 4-inch line. Third and goal. 2 tight ends are in. Smith, loose ball. And it looked like alert David Whitehurst recovered the fumble. A real good hit on Smith, but he lost a yard on the play, at least, maybe 2.
What a big play for the Chicago Bears, because now the Packers face a 4th down situation and 2 to go, and will probably have to settle for the field goal, leading 3-0 to take the 6-0 lead. There you can see the play as the ball bounced back. Good defense by the Bears as they jolted him, but they're going to go for it. 4th and 2. It was
Tommy Hart with an arm tackle high right on the ball who knocked it loose. And credit to David Whitehurst for being so alert to keep the ball for the Pack. Last crack at it.
I don't think he'll go inside.
Middleton trying wide. Touchdown. And barely, but he is in. Turdell Middleton started wide, turned it up off tackle, was hit by Hicks right at the goal line, and by Reeves.
And a good block by Darrell Goforth as Middleton powered his way into the end zone. A good call by the Green Bay Packers. 2 yards was too far to go. Up the middle, they went to the outside, took the chance, and now have a 9-0 lead, a chance to make it 10. Big play for the Green Bay Packers.
Chester Marco will attempt the point after. Bobby Douglas holding. And it's good. So the Green Bay Packers use another turnover to set up a second score, and they lead it 10-0. 7:35 remaining third period.
Whew. He sure didn't spend any time getting dressed.
Linda, tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Maybe he'd look better in Hager slacks. Or Hager sport coat and slacks. He could even afford a Hager vested suit. And that's a look I can't afford to pass up.
Oh,
Hi.
Susan?
Close enough. For me,
Hager, because looking good makes you feel good.
Ready or not, here I come.
Look, out on the road. It's a car. It's a Fiesta.
It's Wunder Car, Ford Fiesta from Germany, with front-wheel drive and Michelin steel-belted radials for sure-footed traction. Fiesta, Wunder Car, with responsive acceleration that's quick to the rescue. Fiesta, Wunder Car, ready to go long distances on a gallon of gas. Wunder Car, disguised as a Fiesta.
I like it, Clark.
So do I, Lois, at your Ford dealer.
Sir, your cape is showing.
Chester Marco will kick it off following the 2-yard touchdown run by Turdell Middleton. Green Bay leading 10-0. And they went 14 yards in 6 plays following the interception by Carl Barzalauskas. Schubert and Walterscheid are playing a little game down at the goal line. They're standing right together, waiting till the last minute to separate. Marco trying to kick it to the man he wanted to, presumably Schubert, kicked it out of bounds on an earlier kickoff in this game and had to go back to the 30. Now they've separated with Walterscheid coming down to the lower part of your screen. There he is on the left. And they kick it to Schubert. He takes it at the 6. Still going out over the 32-yard line. Good return by Steve Schubert for the Chicago Bears, and it was Steve Wagner, number 21, reserve defensive back, making the tackle. Here's the final score, and you can't call this a huge upset, but the Jets getting 45 points behind Matt Robinson, the quarterback, defeated the Buffalo Bills, and so the Jets are 3-3, and the Bills are 2-4 in the AFC East. First down, Bears. They trail by 10. Harper on first down is swarmed under at the 35. He got maybe 2. Barzalauskas and Roller, the defensive tackles, 75 and 74, made the tackle for Green Bay.
Well, the Bears simply are not getting enough yardage on the first down play on the running game, and that puts you in a hole. They have a second down and about 8 now, maybe 7.5.
Slot formation left. James Scott wide left. This is Payton back to the short side. Good coverage again on him. He got about 3 yards before Mike Hunt, the rookie middle linebacker, number 55, put the hit on him.
Well, the Packers are playing their cues very well. That time the Bears had 2 wide receivers to the opposite side of the field, came back to the weak side, and as soon as they made that move to the right end run, there were about 4 Packers on their way.
You know, we were told, Johnny, that Jim Carter, the veteran, would see a lot of action at middle linebacker, that perhaps they wanted to give Mike Hunt a little help against the strong Bears running game, and Hunt's been in there all the way, and he has done a fine job. Cavallini complete to Walter Payton, who made a fine catch and has the first down, depending on whether they mark it where Walter wants it marked.
I think he still had it.
He had it anyway. There's no question he did. But when he tried to make sure by spotting the ball, the crowd booed the fact that the officials marked it near where Walter himself marked it. Pittsburgh has whipped Atlanta 31-7. The Steelers remain undefeated. in the AFC Central, 6-0. Atlanta suffers its fourth defeat against two wins. First down, Chicago. Ball at their 44. In motion back is Richards. Straight ahead is Payton. Hard running by Walter Payton, picks up 5, maybe 6 over the 50 into Green Bay territory. Safety Johnny Gray and Dave Roller rolling back. Gets in on it.
Let's take a look at that defense. There's Michael Hunt absorbing the block from Reeve Sorey, and Payton busts through, gets through Roller, and gets about 5 yards. He's now 15 carries for 56 yards. Walter is unofficially.
Jim Carter has come in to replace Hunt finally. We were just talking about that, but it's because Hunt limped off following that last play. So Hunt favoring his right foot, it appears, and the veteran Carter in at middle linebacker. Harper carrying, and another Bears first down.
Look at this one. Washington 21-19 over Detroit in the fourth quarter, and that's very late in the fourth quarter.
A pair of touchdown passes from Joe Theismann as the Lions playing them tough. Washington has regained the lead. Robin Earl is in at fullback, number 39, along with Payton. Avellini under heat. Chucks it up, intercepted by Luke. Luke down the sideline. Avellini, the last man, with a shot at him, and he is in. Touchdown. Steve Luke. The Packers had the blitz on. Avellini just chucked it up underhanded, and it cost him.
He really threw that up for grabs. Of course, he was on the rush, but had no idea that time, and Luke takes off, and Avellini gets the rough treatment here from Ezra Johnson. He really clobbers Avellini, so that was a bad play for the Bears and a bad play for Avellini, adding insult to injury. And there's the pass, a sidearm pass, which was over Greg Latta. Latta could not catch him. And then here comes Ezra Johnson, who can run a 4.6 40 and lays the wood to Avellini. The Packers lead 16-0.
Montclair will attempt the point after. A 63-yard play. And it's good. The Green Bay Packers have now jumped into a commanding lead. With 4:15 remaining third period, the Packers 17 and the Bears nothing.
How about a winner for me?
New Schlitz Light.
There's a new taste in Schlitz Light. The taste of natural ingredients brewed into a Pilsner beer. New Schlitz Light. Still less filling with a taste that's bigger than light.
Gentlemen, here's to fast horses.
Schlitz Light and those who love them.
Schlitz Light. Natural Pilsner beer.
It takes the average wheat farmer over 50 days and 14 tons of machinery just to plant his seeds in the ground. Now Phillips Petroleum has helped develop.
Steve Schubert and Lenny Walderscheid again playing their little game down there. They want to wait until Markol approaches the ball. Now finally Walderscheid comes right. Markol kicks it this time to Walderscheid, who takes it at the 3. Up the sideline, hurdles one man, and then is knocked out at the 25, maybe the 26. Pretty good return by Walderscheid. Estes Hood, number 38, rookie reserve cornerback, pushed him out of bounds, and Schubert limping a bit.
Let's watch number 66, Rudzinski. He comes down. He's the one that likes to bust up the wedges. This time it was over to the side, so he comes over and he takes a shot from Latta, and he says, okay, and boy, okay, put the Dukes up.
Paul Rudzinski is a rookie from Michigan State. Another of the linebacker youngsters.
A bad
Bob
day
Avellini.
for Bob Avellini, yes. Has not been good in a couple of key plays. That time he really threw it up for grabs. He was pressured, no doubt about it, but he probably would have been better off to eat the football than to throw it up like that.
Well, and that's the second one today. In a similar situation, under pressure, he was intercepted by McCoy on an ill-advised pass, and it turned into a fumble by McCoy that the Bears got back, but they didn't do anything with it. That's Steve Schubert limping off. He was hurt blocking for Walderscheid on the kickoff return. Avellini has had 3 interceptions so far today, and let's see what he can do now. The Bears have got to go to the air. They're going to run the first play. Harper, he got about 4. Roland Harper, number 35, is stopped by Barzalauskas. Time winding down in the third quarter with Green Bay up 17-0, and they have scored all three of their scoring plays following Bear turnovers. 2 interceptions and a fumble. Avellini with time, up the middle, complete. James Scott shakes off one tackler but can't quite get away. A flag is down. Steve Luke on the tackle, and holding is called against Chicago. So the long gainer into Green Bay territory again goes for naught. It looks like Dennis Lick will be the guilty party.
Let's see. Let's watch number 70 blocking on Michael Butler, 77. Let's see if the call's on Dennis Lick. It's hard to say, but we're going to find out from the official in just a moment. But
Butler has been creating havoc back there in that
holding
Chicago backfield.
Number 70, offense, second down.
It is Lick, and that's his third holding call, Johnny, and really it's just a question that he hasn't been able to handle Mike Butler without grabbing a piece of him. We've seen that graphically on 2 or 3 occasions where Butler has muscled in there, and on one of them he got a hold of Avellini's arm and led to the interception by Barzalauskas. It is 2nd and 17. Father Payton is met at the line by Barzalauskas.
And Roller both up there. Good penetration right up the middle by the 2 inside defensive linemen, and there was no chance for that play to succeed. We have a final score. Washington beat Detroit 21-19. That's 6-0 for the Washington Redskins of Jack Pardee.
Detroit led in that game 12-7, then 19-14. But the Redskins find ways to beat you. Third down. They give it to Payton. Payton over the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Boy, the Bears have pulled in their horns now. Third down passing situation. They went with the run to Walter Payton, and Neil Armstrong must be a little bit leery of the passing game after some of the things that has happened.
The Packer crowd on its feet applauding the Green Bay defense. Parsons standing at his 12. Steve Odom at the 38-yard line of Green Bay is dropped immediately at the 40, driven back to about the 36-yard line by Wentford Gaines, number 36, the new man on the Bears roster. 2:13 remaining, third period.
You know me? Of course you do. I am money. Your money. You work for me. So hard. What's so funny? You should have me working for you.
An IDS representative can get tough with money. Put it to work with a personalized financial plan. We've done it for 80 years for business and for people just like you. IDS. We help people manage money.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Come fly with me in one magnificent flying machine, the 79 Thunderbird. I love its luxurious cockpit. Fly with a V8 engine.
Power steering and power brakes, all standard. Glide in great style with wrap-over roof and opera windows at a down-to-earth sticker price.
79 Thunderbird. What a way to fly at your Ford dealers.
33-yard punt by Parsons has Green Bay first down at their own 40-yard line, and they have a comfortable 17-0 lead. But there's still plenty of time left. Whitehurst rolling under pursuit from Hartenstein, who drops him way back at the 31-yard line. Not sure whether that was a broken play or not. There was a little bit of traffic in the backfield.
The Bears put on a safety blitz that time. Plank came up. They put Hicks up in the line and came out with the all-out blitz, which kind of shook Whitehurst a little bit, so he tried to run out of it. And Hartenstein was there on the outside to pursue him and push him out of bounds. As Zeke Bratkowski, that signal means forget that play from now on.
A 9-yard loss. 2nd and 19. Well, the Bears make a good defensive play. They've got to get that ball back and push the Packers back if they hope to get into this game. Marty Smith straight ahead, got 4 of them back. It'll be 3rd and 15. Jerry Myers in defensively, number 74, put the stop on him. 2 linebackers go out for the Bears. In come Walderscheid and Heron. Heron gives them a little more speed at the linebacker spot.
Oh, gee, look at that signal. This has got to be the best play of the game coming up right now.
3rd down, 15 to go. Too much time. Too much time. It took him that long to read the signal, I guess, Johnny.
That's right. The extra signal cost him 5 yards. He says, Zeke told me that it takes 6.5 seconds for him to get his signal in on an average, whereas if he was running players in, it would take much longer, plus the players mess up the plays when they translate.
Delay of game, Green Bay. 3rd down.
Well, that one went against him. Anyway, you cut it. Delay of game drops him back the game they had.
You know, that's kind of a great situation for a quarterback, because if he doesn't like the play, he can say, I couldn't see what you were calling.
3rd down at the 30-yard line. About 21. Whitehurst has time. Intended for Lofton. Almost intercepted by Doug Plank, number 46, but he could not hold on. The pass well overthrown. Intended for the rookie James Lofton, who had 13 catches coming into this game. Number 1 pick from Stanford. I don't think he's got one today, has he? Yes, he has. Lofton has caught one for 7-yard gain. First half. Beverly will have to punt, so the Bears hold. And they are running out of time here in the 3rd period, 1:17 to go. Kenny Walderscheid is the lone deep man. I would think the Bears would maybe be coming on this punt.
They better hurry up.
4 seconds on the clock. Beverly, good kick. Walderscheid's backed up to the 23. And he is met inside the 30. Number 26, Eric Torkelson, and number 56, Rick Newsom. The tacklers for the Bears got to get something going now. Next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, you'll see highlights of the finals, same-day coverage from the USTA Women's Indoor Tennis Championships in Minneapolis. Live from Belmont Park, the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and the World's Strongest Men, the Steel Bar Bend event. Wouldn't miss that for the world. Also, you'll get a baseball report updating the World Series action. Pete Rose will join host Dick Stockton next week on the Sports Spectacular. First down, Bears. Play action. Sideliner. Scott complete. First down. A gain of about 11, maybe 12 on the play. It was a 48-yard punt by Beverly that set the Bears back in a little deeper than they wanted to be, but they have picked up a quick 11 yards out to the 41. 17-0. Green Bay. All the scoring coming from turnovers by the Bears. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris reporting the action to you from Lambeau Field along the CBS network. Avellini complete to Payton, trying to get loose, can't do it. Mike McCoy came up to help John Anderson, that very rangy, quick outside linebacker from Michigan. Put the stop on Walter with a good ankle tackle. Mentioned Anderson came into this game with 4 interceptions, and so I guess people have been trying him over there, and he has not been found wanting.
Buchanan has 5 interceptions. They've had a ton of interceptions. Now you can add one for Steve Luke, too.
And Carl Barzalauskas and McCoy. Roland Harper got about 2, maybe 3. Barzalauskas tackling him to bring up another 3rd down situation.
The Packers have a little extra pool for who's going to get the most sacks. I guess they put up a quarter apiece or something like that. Ezra Johnson usually wins. I guess Mike Butler might win this time.
It'll be 3rd and about 4 yards to go when play continues with the final period of regulation time. The end of the score. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Sorry to bust up the game, fellas, but I thought you might like my address and my number.
WKRP in Cincinnati, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
A key play here for the Chicago Bears, 3rd and 4. The ball at their own 47-yard line. They almost have to keep it going, Johnny Morris here. They are down 17-0. They've got to get some points on this drive. We are just underway in the 4th quarter. The Bears to our right in white. Play action. Sideline, complete to James Scott. Knocked out of bounds by Willie Buchanan, number 28. But a first down for the Bears at the 38-yard line.
Let's see the move that James Scott puts on Buchanan. See the little inside, and then he cheats, comes back to the outside, and Buchanan's got to respect his speed, comes back for the ball, and catches it right in the breadbasket out of bounds. Good execution by the Chicago Bears and James Scott.
So the Bears come up with the 3rd down conversion they needed. Play action again. Sideliner again. Scott again. And it is another first down as they went right back to the same play, turning in front of Willie Buchanan. First down now at the 21.
Excuse me, almost a carbon copy, except a little bit shorter that time, and Buchanan is really playing off of him. Of course, they're ahead 17-0. Doesn't want to get beat on the bomb, but they ought to get some short help there in front a little bit. Give him a zone, bring deep short coverage on him because Scott's been wide open all day.
Let's make that first down at the 25-yard line. That's Green Bay. Motion along the line. Payton, the ball carrier, still going inside the 10. Now, were they drawn over or were they offside? Was there motion to bring them over? Let's wait and see. It could be another big game going for nothing.
One of the backs moved a little bit too soon here. The Packers had moved, but so had Roland Harper. And I got to figure that that one's going to go against the Bears.
Penalties have hurt them nearly as much as turnovers today.
Either that or it'll be offsetting penalties.
Go on the other side of the field.
But I don't think the Packers can lose out of this deal.
Okay. Illegal motion offense caused the defense to jump. It is an offensive foul.
Well, you heard it very clearly. Defense went over because they were drawn over. The illegal motion by the Bears. So again, they hurt themselves rather severely. 1st and 15, back at the 31-yard line now, Green Bay. Reminder to the Packer fans looking in that next Sunday afternoon's Packer-Seattle game in Milwaukee, the game time has been moved up to 12 noon, so you might just keep that in mind. Those of you planning on going to Milwaukee for the game, or those of you living in that area. 12 noon next week.
Payton is 17 for 67 in the running department. Long gain of 10 yards.
1st and 15. Cavallini now under pressure, squirts out. Hit from behind. Ball is down, and just as it came loose, the whistle blew. They have given it to the Chicago Bears. Ezra Johnson, Jim Carter combining on the tackle. He had time initially, Johnny, but there was good coverage downfield.
Right, and you're going to see some speed by number 78, Ezra Johnson. Watch this as Avellini takes off. 78 has to react, and just coming from behind, boy, he just comes flying, and Avellini was tackled and down.
He has some kind of speed.
There's Golden Richards on his pattern coming across the field, had a little room.
We're back live. Roland Harper pulling his way to the 20-yard line on 2nd and 11. Jim Carter, middle linebacker, has been in there since Hunt came limping off, and Hunt does not return to the game. So Carter, the 9-year veteran from Minnesota, in the middle. Ball spotted at the 20. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Well, late start, the Rams and the 49ers, the Bay Area rivalry, and Los Angeles leads it 7-0 in the first period. Pat Hayden to John Cappelletti for the score. 3rd down, another big one here for the Bears. Harper broke a tackle and has the first down. What a good effort by Roland Harper.
He does that time and time again for the Bears. Here is a man who is grossly underrated, and he has fumbled in 360 times with the ball in his career. He's fumbled 3 times. Roland Harper, look at that second effort. In other words, takes at least 100 times before he fumbles.
Robin Earl has come in to give Harper a breather. First down Bears, so again they come up with the important third down conversion. And they are at the 15 of Green Bay. 12:22 remaining regulation time. Slot formation right. Fake reverse.
Wide open.
Wide open. Walter Payton, touchdown. No, out of bounds. Out of bounds. Juggled the ball, and it took him out of bounds. He did not have possession in the end zone.
They were faking the wide receiver end around as Golden Richards came back around. Peyton went on out, and they caught the Packers in a mental mistake. And here comes the pass. Let's see.
Can't tell because the ball, he's blocking our view.
As to whether he had possession.
Right. It was ruled that he was juggling the ball, was not in full possession. Excellent play, well executed. Pass just a little bit overthrown, making Walter reach for it like that, but he didn't catch it. It comes to that. Harper and Payton back in. Slot formation left. Second down play. Avellini with time. Open is Scott. Touchdown. James Scott. They gave Avellini protection. He delivered the ball to the open man, and the Bears are on the scoreboard.
We'll get a good angle on it here as Avellini goes back, gets pretty good protection. You see Scott come into the picture right there. And he beats McCoy. And it was right there for the touchdown and the spike. Put her down there, James. And the Bears are back in the game 17-6.
A perfect strike from Avellini, who has had some problems today to this point. But he gets the Bears into the end zone with a touchdown pass to James Scott. Bob Thomas has the point after. And so with 12:08 remaining in regulation time, the Green Bay Packers 17, the Chicago Bears 7. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where the Bears finally have gotten themselves onto the scoreboard. It is 17-7, a 15-yard pass. Avellini to Scott, 71 yards in 10 plays. A short kickoff. It is taken by Steve Wagner, number 21, forced out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And the Packers wind up with a real good start. A little pushing and shoving along the sideline there, but things calmed down. And there's the drive. They used up 3:59. And they didn't really want to use that much time because they need the time in this game with 12 minutes remaining. They did it the hard way, having a couple of penalties along the way and having to make tough third down conversions.
This game is not over. The Packers cannot afford to make a mistake.
First down, Green Bay at their 40, slot formation right. Andre Thompson, number 43 in the slot. James Lofton is wide right, number 80. Middleton shakes one tackle and got over the line of scrimmage for about a yard. Doug Plank coming up from safety on the tackle. Gary Fensick is there, number 45 as well. Seattle in front of Minnesota 6-0 in the first quarter. And some of our viewers will be going to that game right at the end of our telecast here from Green Bay, and some others along our network will see the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys in our doubleheader action on CBS today.
Chicago will see the Minnesota-Seattle game, as will Des Moines. People up in Wisconsin will see the other game that you mentioned.
2nd and 9. Green Bay. Play action. Whitehurst deep for Lofton, wide open. Lofton. Touchdown. The rookie James Lofton got inside Terry Schmidt. There was nobody else in the middle as he ran the post, and the Packers open it again, 58 yards.
Well, they finally got Terry Schmidt in a man-for-man situation. No free man to help out. And Lofton, who can run a 9-300, just took off, and it was right on the dime. Nobody near him. Not only can he run a 9-300, he can almost leap the entire end zone. He can long jump 27 feet, and the end zone's only 30 feet. James Lofton, great speed, and the Packers have just about broken the back of the Chicago Bears on that. Look at that, number 1 signal by Buchanan. He says the Packers are 1, and right now they have a chance to be 5-1 in the division.
Chester Marco will attempt the point after Douglas holding. And it's good. So the Green Bay Packers showing amazing maturity for such a young team. Come back with the perfect strike. Whitehurst to Markle. It's 24-7. Whitehurst to Lofton.
Want to drop your car off fast?
Nobody does it better. Hertz leads the others by far.
Use Hertz Express Car Return. You'll find it everywhere. And at busier airports, Hertz people can meet you right at your car to help you return it even faster.
I don't have to go to the counter?
Just catch your plane.
So rent a Fairmont, LTD, or other fine car fast from Hertz.
Hertz the superstar.
As a State Farm agent, when people come into my office and sign an application for insurance, my job is just beginning. There's no sitting back and putting the file away.
Agent Vince Grammarosa talks about State Farm service.
We're continually reviewing their protection. We're continually talking to them. It's on a personal service basis from day to day, month to month. We never forget the people.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Whitehurst to James Lofton, the Stanford rookie, 58 yards. It took him only 2 plays to do it. They knew it was there, and they took it. And as soon as the Bears had scored, the Packers replied. It is 24-7. Wentford Gaines is the deep man with Lenny Walterscheid. Schubert went off limping on the last kickoff play. Walterscheid took it at the 20. Gets out over the 30 to the 32, so the Bears will start with good field position.
Whitehurst gets great protection here, and he's got an arm here. Watch him throw that ball. He puts it downfield. It looked like Schmidt might have thought he had inside help because he stayed way to the outside, number 44, and he might have thought he had inside help. There might have been a mental mistake on the coverage by the Bears because Lofton was so open that it was almost ridiculous.
So the Bears uphill again. First down at the 32. Complete to Payton, who drops the ball. Now, do they call it incomplete? They do. And so Walter Payton did not have full possession twice. So Walter just so eager, once down in the end zone. And here, trying to get something good going for the Chicago Bears. Can't squeeze it. Second down. But again, the very mature performance by this young Green Bay team. They have not rattled. They've gotten rattled at any point during the game. They have made a couple of turnovers. Middleton and McCoy.
Boy, Scott's got a man-for-man situation again.
Short pass. Flag down. It was intended for Golden Richards. Well short of the target. Flag is down in the Bears' backfield.
Flag's down.
That usually spells bad news for an offensive lineman.
Well, you can be faulted for taking holding penalties, but the Packer rush has just put an enormous amount of pressure on the Bears' offensive line. Several times we've seen Dennis Lick having problems with Mike Butler. At some point you grab on just in desperation.
The Packers are trying to decide whether they're going to take the penalty and give the Bears an extra down. Let's see if we can pick it up. Let's watch the left side here. Ted Albrecht, 64, blocking on Ezra Johnson.
Number 64, offense. Repeat, second down.
Oh, well, I think that was pretty obvious.
That was Albrecht. It is second down and 20.
That was what you call a basic holding play.
10:49 remaining regulation time. Tampa Bay leads Kansas City 16-6 in the fourth period. Payton, fine running by Walter Payton, out over the 30-yard line to the 31. It'll still be a long third down. Johnny Gray, Gary Weaver tackling for Green Bay.
Payton is now 18 for 76. 18 carries for 76 yards.
Roland Harper has 68 yards rushing. Middleton leads Green Bay with 50.
Would you have believed that 6 games into the season that Peyton's longest run would be 19 yards?
No, it is hard to believe. 3rd down, about 11. For Richards. Does he have it? No, incomplete. Luke on the coverage bumped him right at the sideline as the ball came down.
Straight 4-man rush by the Packers, and the ball was there. He had to reach out, but as he was trying to get control, Steve Luke put the hit on him and jolted any chance for Golden Richards to hang on to the pass as the Packers are cheering themselves.
And the crowd on its feet again for the fine defensive work by the Red Packer team. Parsons punting. The deep man is Odom. Takes it at the 24. Squirts through to the 33, where the Packers will have 1st down, and most importantly, they have the ball, following a 46-yard punt with 9:52 remaining. 24-7.
Fred, we got a new page 1 here.
Making sure the news gets out is what my job's about. Now it's all behind. Got blue ribbon on my mind. I've got Pabst blue ribbon on my mind. More and more lately I find
The premium taste of Pabst. It's a lot to look forward to.
I've got Pabst blue ribbon on my mind.
Announcing a whole new breed of Mustang for '79. The turbocharged Mustang from Ford. With the performance of an optional turbocharged engine that took Mustang from 0 to 50 in an average of 7 seconds. Precise handling from sports car features. And more. Mustang Turbo in 3-door and 2-door models. Capture one at your Ford dealer now.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports Spectacular features highlights of the USTA Women's Indoor Championships, Part 2 of the world's strongest men competition, and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
1st down, Green Bay at their 33. Cordell Middleton, number 34. Straight ahead, behind McCarron, Mel Jackson, Greg Cook. Picked up about 5. Cleveland in front of New Orleans, 24-9 in the 4th period at New Orleans. Browns, a tough football team. Going to be problems for everybody, including Pittsburgh, although the Steelers are unbeaten with a victory today. They are 6-0 in the Central Division of the AFC. Campbell and Buffon, the linebackers, pinching in to make the tackle. Dallas leads the New York Giants 7-0 in the 1st quarter of that game. And many of you watching our telecast will see that one next. Middleton again. The 1st down and then some. Good-looking running back. Gets up to the 48-yard line. Campbell again, and Fensick, the safety, on the tackle.
They pushed Jerry Myers and Tom Hicks out of the way there on that blocking, and there was a nice big hole for the Packers, who over the past 3 years under Bart Starr have been 13-29. This year, though, he's finally turned it around. The Packers are going to be 5-1.
Darrell Goforth making a good block along with Tim Stokes, who's in there for Mark Conkar. Conkar not expected to play for under 5 or 6 weeks because of the knee injury. Barty Smith picks up about 3. Middle linebacker Tom Hicks, number 54, on the tackle. Ezra Johnson, you have seen a sample of his speed, and he has 11 sacks coming into this game today. He can motor.
Hello, Ezra. You know, the Packers are having a contest up here in Green Bay to figure out a name for the defensive front 4.
I think they've earned one now.
And the winner gets tickets to the Bay game. So if we can think up a name. How about the Packer Sackers? That wouldn't win, would it?
You want to go to Tampa Bay that badly, Johnny? 2nd down and 7. Hard running by Barty Smith. He'll be close to the 1st down, but it would appear to be short of there. Doug Plank on the tackle.
Doug Plank was up there on a blitz. He got in the hole and got more than he bargained for as Barty Smith came busting through there. Plank did make the tackle, but had to give a few yards in the process because Barty Smith had a whole head of steam going.
It'll be 3rd and 1. 49ers have kicked a field goal to make it 7-3 in their game against the Rams, still in the first period. Tight ends in. Hoffman joining McGeorge. Middleton is stopped short of the first down. Good lateral pursuit by the Bears on that play. At the bottom of the pile is Tommy Hart, number 53. Doug Buffone, the linebacker, got in on it, number 55. Ron Rideouts was in on that last defensive series, and he goes limping off. He's got that bad toe. Shearer got banged during this game. And he's been getting some considerable rest since the hit on him. Lenny Waldershot is the lone receiver for the Bears, and David Beverly will punt from the 41. Stepping up now to the 45. It bounces back upfield, down by Estes Hood for the Pack at the 19-yard line of the Chicago Bears. And we have 6:32 remaining regulation time. The Chicago Bears have got to produce some instant offense. They trail 24-7.
When do you say Budweiser?
After doing this about 3,000 times a day.
After a hard tennis match with my friend Ron.
As soon as I knock this ball out of the park.
When do you say Budweiser?
It's everywhere.
When my mother-in-law leaves town.
After a long night in here.
Or when you say Budweiser.
Let me hear you say it, people.
Budweiser.
You have said it all.
You give a man a couple of days to himself and a Black & Decker workmate, and there's almost nothing he can't do. You can pound on it, saw on it, hammer on it, and sand on it. The sturdy vice jaws do the holding for you. You can clamp on it, paint on it, cut a shape on it, drive a screw on it. There's almost nothing you can't do. When America has a job to do, it reaches for Black & Decker.
The sideliners, the Green Bay Packers cheerleaders, complete a routine here during the timeout, and we're ready to go with the Bears. At their own 19, Jeff Sheedy into the game at guard for Noah Jackson. Swing it out to Harper, and Harper is hit immediately by Dave Roller. A flag is down near Bob Avellini.
They may have called Butler for roughing the passer. We'll have to see.
Harper did not get past the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Roller. Looks like this one will be against Green Bay. As if Avellini hasn't had enough problems today. He's got to get an extra shot too.
We got an extra shot on an interception that went for the touchdown also. I'm sure Neil Armstrong is going to have to reassess, and let's listen to the penalty call first.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 77, defense. First down.
There is Butler. He wanted to come over so everybody could see that it was him that did it.
He's had himself quite an afternoon. The entire Packer defense has. A remarkable young team with a very, very mature performance here today against a tough team, the Bears. Avellini, sideliner, complete to Richards. Pushed out by Buchanan, but has the first down. Said at the outset of this game that neither team had really beaten any teams of distinction. The Packers' only loss had been to Oakland, and the Bears had lost to two very tough teams, Oakland and Minnesota. So today it was a proving ground for both of them. Packers to prove that they could play with the big guys. The Bears a playoff team a year ago, and the Bears to try and prove that they could handle a young developing team like Green Bay. Avellini deep for Scott. Scott has it. It's dropped, and it's incomplete. The hit on him by Johnny Gray. Perfectly timed. He could not hold on to the ball.
A nice throw by Avellini as Scott beat the deep, long coverage. It was in between. And you're going to see the hit by Johnny Gray, number 24. It's right there for Scott to have. And then comes the hit by Johnny Gray. Aggressive football. And as we mentioned, these Packers hit there. That defensive backfield can hit. Neil Armstrong says, oh, there's always another week. We'll get him next week. But I'm sure he's reassessing. He's going to look at the tape and see how much of it is Avellini's fault. He might have to make a change there. He hasn't gotten a lot of offensive line support on his pass blocking today, so you can't blame Avellini for everything.
Lock formation left. Peyton. Gary Weaver, number 52, will not let him make the corner. Tampa Bay in front of Kansas City, 23-6. John McKay's young team having some fun there in the fourth period, 4:20 remaining. And if they hang on to that one, which it looks like they will, they'll be 3-3.
And they would be tied with the Bears if they lose at 3-3. And of course, Minnesota's playing Seattle. So it looks like the Packers would be 5-1. Chicago and Tampa Bay 3-3, and Minnesota either 4-2 or 3-3, depending on what the Vikings do with Seattle. Houston leads Oakland 3-0 in the second period.
It is third down here for Avellini and the Bears. About 9 to go. He's got time. Peyton. 3 Packers on him as soon as he caught the ball. He has held short of the first down. Picked up about 7 on the play, but it'll be second and close to 3. John Anderson, Willie Buchanan combining to tackle him. Seattle has gone in front of Minnesota in that game 13-0. Jim Zorn running in from 12 yards out. He had passed to Sam McCullum for their first score. The Giants are on the board against Dallas now with a field goal. It is 7-3 there. And remember, at the conclusion of our telecast, part of our network will be joining that game, and part will see Minnesota and Seattle.
Bob Avellini is over talking to Coach Neil Armstrong, trying to come up with the right play here on a 4th down situation.
Tonight on CBS, start your evening with 60 Minutes. More fascinating stories to shed light on the American scene. And then you make the single scene with Mary Tyler Moore and company. More Laughter is next on the agenda with All in the Family and Alice. And then the great new drama, Kaz. So keep your dial tuned right here to CBS for some fine entertainment tonight.
.5:35 left in this game, with the Packers up 24-7.
Chris Kennedy, go to gate 16.
Well, these Packer fans have just really got to be enjoying the game thus far, and they seem to be very much in command with 5:35 remaining. I think the thing that has just been most impressive is, despite the fact they did have a couple of turnovers back in the first half, they have just played a very steady game. Both offensively and defensively, and they made the big play coming right back off the Chicago score. Getting one of their own. Avellini. Good catch by Peyton. And on 4th down, I think he's got it.
Peyton has made some good catches out of the backfield, proving his worth as a pass receiver. There, nice stretch out. And it's going to be a first down for Chicago.
First down yardage. So they made a critical 4th down play there, with Walter Payton, the main man, coming up with it. First down at the 42 of Green Bay. 5 minutes remaining. Slot formation left. Avellini, sideliner, Richards, complete. Forced out by Mike McCoy, by Willie Buchanan, pardon me, 28, not 29.
You're going to see James Scott break wide open as he comes across on a quick post right there. The pass goes out to Golden Richards, but if James is smart, he'll go back to the huddle and say, call the same formation, same play. You got 2 receivers in view, I'm open.
Richards got 9 and is 2nd and 1. The Packer 34. Scott goes wide right, Richards wide left. Play action fake to Harper. Scott, sideliner, complete. First down Bears on the move at the 21. Green Bay can afford to give him some of these short sideliner passes. They are in command, 24-7.
One of these moments, Buchanan or McCoy or somebody like that's going to take a chance. They're up 24-7, and they're running the same patterns down on that out move and take a risk and go for the interception. We'll see what happens, but they're sure giving him those 12-yard passes right now.
Robin Earl in for Roland Harper. Slot formation left.
Here comes that quick post.
Here comes Butler. Mike Butler. Ezra Johnson on the ball. Who's got it? They call it an incomplete pass. The official is signaling an incomplete pass, and Avellini's arm was in motion, attempting to pass the ball, but it was Mike Butler again storming in there.
Let's take a look. Here comes Butler, will come from the right side, and Avellini's very close. You could tell he was going to go forward, but I don't know if he had, but it was a close call. At this point on the outcome of the game, it probably does not make any difference. Ezra Johnson got shaken up a little bit on the play.
That was in the scramble for the loose ball, and looks like he's holding his ribs there. Johnson has been outstanding today, and Butler and John Anderson, I think, have impressed me the most this afternoon with their defensive play, but if there's been anything you can describe as a team effort, we've certainly seen it here today by the Pack. Second down, ball still at the 21. Avellini has taken his lumps in that Bears backfield today. Slot left again, Richards in the slot. Scott wide left.
There's
Avellini complete to Richards inside the 10, driven back by Luke. Well spotted at the 9. First down. There seemed to be some motion along the Packer front, but evidently that tackle got back onside before the ball was snapped, and the Bears are happy to have the gain anyway.
There's the grab by Golden Richards, and the Packers are going with their basic front alignment, basic rush by the linemen, and I'm wondering where their linebackers are. They don't seem to be anywhere around on those 10, 12-yard passes.
First down and goal. Play action.
Same play.
Incomplete. Intended for Walter Payton, and Johnny said same play. He meant the same one that they used in exactly the same situation earlier, the fake reverse.
The fake, the reverse to Golden Richards, and this time Weaver was right there, jumps up, and the ball was in there. Just tough to hang on to as Weaver made the tackle. No interference called, and it's an incompletion pass. And Ezra eats bear meat, and I'll have to go along with that today.
Yes, and I'd say Mike Butler's had a big helping too.
Yes.
Second and goal. Sack. Dave Roller, number 74, and look at him hot dog it. Oh. The crowd really loves.
Dave Roller with the Muhammad Ali shuffle. Good coverage downfield by the Packers. Avellini couldn't throw, takes his punishment, and here comes Roller on the tackle. Now, get up, Dave. Let's see it. Oh, we're not going to get to see it again.
Avellini has earned his money here this afternoon. He is going to have some sore body at the end of this one. These Packers have punished him. Third down. Goal to go, but the ball is out now at the 17. Slot formation right. 2:57 to play. Avellini to Scott, touchdown. Well, it looked like the similar pattern on as the last touchdown score, John, except they started it from the right. Brought Scott in from the right side. He was wide open.
Over there on the post, the Packers gave him the room. As you can see, Latta coming into the pattern short, and there was Scott with plenty of room, and he's ending up having quite an afternoon. I think he's got 7, 8 passes. Unofficially, 8 passes for 106 yards.
And he has 2 touchdowns. Both of the Bears scores on passes from Avellini. Thomas will attempt the point after. And it's good. And so with 2:51 to play in regulation time, it's 24-14, Green Bay.
Ford introduces a new wagon for the American road. The all-new LTD Country Squire for $79. A new wagon with more driver convenience, more handling ease, more window area, and more passenger room than last year's Country Squire.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
The all-new Ford LTD Country Squire for $79. See it at your Ford dealer now.
Now try and forget. One of America's largest life insurance companies, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 57 offense during the kick. The try will be repeated.
Well, Bob Thomas will now attempt what amounts to a field goal after the personal foul on Don Reeves during the point after try that was good, but that's wiped out. Now he's got to kick it from the 24-yard line. So that is a long conversion, but he made it. A 34-yard PAT for Thomas with 2:51 on the clock. And so it is Packers 24, Bears 14. And we have just 2:51 to play, so the Bears have got a long way to come back. Tomorrow night here on CBS, it's comedy with WKRP in Cincinnati, followed by a special full-hour edition of MASH and the annual bash from Nashville, the Country Music Awards. And you'll see Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash and Dolly Parton and Charlie Pride and Glenn Campbell and all them good down-home folks on the Country Music Awards Tuesday night on CBS. Have you seen that WKRP yet, Johnny? That is some funny show.
No, I got to be honest, I have not seen it.
Oh, you got to watch that one tomorrow night. A lot of radio station and all the crazy DJs and people that run it in Cincinnati, and my personal favorite, the new shows.
Is it authentic?
Yeah, it looks pretty real to me.
Well, the Bears still have a chance in this game. If the Packers win, it'll be the first time they've beaten Chicago since 1975. The Bears have reeled off 4 straight victories over Green Bay, and the Packers are up for a possible onside kick. And look at the Bear alignment. Everybody's over here on the left side. Now let's see if they try and really cross them up here.
Thomas tries for it. Loose ball. Who's got it? That looks like a rugby scrum there. Andre Thompson signaling the Pack got it, but the officials are right there in the middle of that pile, and it is Green Bay ball. It was not a bad try. Good kick by Thomas.
Sure was. Everybody had a shot at it that time. It was an excellent onside kick, and
Rich McGeorge, it looks like, number 81, came up with it for the Pack. A well-executed play by the Bears, even though they did not come up with the ball. A good execution by Green Bay, expecting it to come, and they played it well. And they have possession and good field position, obviously, at the 48 of the Bears. Now Chicago has to get the ball back awfully quickly.
The Bears have 2 timeouts, not 3, left in the game.
David Whitehurst, the young Green Bay Packers, impresses today. Nate Simpson is in at running back. That's Marty Smith, number 33, hit behind the line by Doug Buffone. Jerry Myers, number 74, finished him off. Nate Simpson, number 48, second-year man from Tennessee State, 5th pick a year ago by Green Bay. And Eric Torkelson comes in, number 26, replacing Simpson. So Bart Starr giving the reserve running back some opportunity to play. And Turdell Middleton, a well-deserved rest. He left with 64 yards rushing on 16 carries. Smith trying to get wide, can't do it. The Bears shut him off. Pressured by Tommy Hart, and Doug Buffone put the tackle on him. There's Jim Carter, number 50, on the Packer bench, and he's been playing a lot here in the second half after the rookie Mike Hunt started, and then came off limping a little bit. Carter has played the rest of the way defensively, and he's got to feel pretty good about what the defense of Green Bay has done today.
Might seem like a minor point, but he went out of bounds to stop the clock with 2:02 left rather than staying in bounds and letting the clock go to the 2-minute warning. So the Bears are going to get the ball with a full 2 minutes to go unless Green Bay gets a first down.
3rd and a little more than 11. Eric Torkelson, hard running behind the left guard Goforth and the left tackle Stokes. Got about 5 yards on the play, but it'll be 4th down Green Bay, and we have 2 minutes to play in regulation time, and a chance to remind you about next week's action here on CBS. The regional games will have Detroit at Atlanta, Tampa Bay in New York against the Giants, Washington at Philadelphia, Dallas at St. Louis. And then the doubleheader action, Los Angeles at Minnesota, New Orleans at San Francisco. Be sure to consult your local listings for the games and times in your area. Some cities will only see a single game due to the NFL blackout policy. Don't forget the NFL Today pregame show, 30 minutes before kickoff, with Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy, and Irv Cross. The crowd enjoys the pretty sideliners of the Green Bay Packers. Pack with a chance to be 5-1, and certainly after today, they will have every right to say that they have beaten a quality football team if they hold on to win this one. San Diego is leading Denver 7-0. Make it 14-0. We just got another score. Dan Fouts, 13-yard pass. Bauer makes it 14-0. The Chargers in front of Denver. 12:07 remaining second period. David Beverly into punt. Steve Schubert playing short up at the 15. Beverly standing at his 41 will hit it from about the 45. Schubert comes way up and they have nobody back to field it. Let's see what develops. Beverly gets it bounced. That's going to be down at the 4-yard line. So David Beverly does the job. The Pack, Johnny Morris, has done a lot of things right today. When you're hot, you're hot.
Looks like Seattle now has a 13-7 lead over Minnesota. The Vikings scored on a 2-yard pass from Fran Tarkenton to Ahmad Rashad. So it's 13-7 in the second quarter.
And the Bears start from a hole, and they have the clock staring them in the face. A 41-yard punt by Beverly. Down inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. Wide left comes Richard. Wide right is James Scott. Cavallini to the end zone. Quickly out to Scott. Dropped immediately. Willie Buchanan.
Well, they're sure giving James and Golden Richards plenty of room on the outside. I'm surprised the Packers, I know they're ahead, but they don't change their defense. Strictly man-to-man out there. No help anywhere.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Cavallini is dropped again. Barzalauskas led the charge, but Ezra Johnson, I believe the man to get him, Bob Barber, number 70, was right there with him. Johnson seemed to be favoring those ribs. He was favoring those on an earlier play. I think he obviously took a pretty good shot there, diving for that loose ball a while back.
The Packers, after this game, will play Seattle. Then they play Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, Dallas, Denver, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Chicago, and Los Angeles. What a schedule.
Tough times ahead, but if they win this game, it looks like they're going to. They got to feel they can play with anybody. Richards cannot hang on. He would have been out of bounds. And he was trying to keep his feet in and his arms out. And that was a physical impossibility. So the Bears will have to punt. Again, the crowd applauding the defensive work of the Packers. I'd like to thank our director, Bob Daly, and the rest of our crew here in Green Bay for another outstanding production job. Our statistician, Jim Palm, our spotter, Bob Schultz. All of these gentlemen whose names you see on the screen, and about another 40 more. Make the enjoyment of NFL football possible for you. Steve Odom standing at the Bears 40 as Parsons punts from the end zone. Odom at the 40. Dipsy Doodles inside the 35. Another loose ball, but I believe play will be dead before the ball came loose. 37-yard punt. 47 seconds left, and the Green Bay Packers will be perched comfortably atop the Central Division at 5-1. The Bears will drop to 3-3, and depending on the Vikings-Seattle game, Minnesota could be in second place alone or tied with the Bears, and Tampa Bay looks like they're going to be a winner, so the worst that can happen to them is a tie for third. Detroit is 1-5. They're still prying players away from the ball down there on the 35.
Walter Tullis, number 20, was in there, and he's claiming it's our ball. What's the argument about? He's the fastest man on the team. Can run a 4.3 40, which is pretty fast, and I guess he convinced him that it was the Packers' ball.
Maybe he talks fast, too. He is some scooter, apparently. We haven't seen him in a wide receiver today. 8:03 remaining in regulation time. Baltimore leads St. Louis 30-17. Colts, who sorely need a victory, but I guess not more than St. Louis. The Cardinals don't have one yet under Bud Wilkinson. Smith and Torkelson are the running backs. First down, Green Bay at the 35 of Chicago. Torkelson. Eric Torkelson, a fifth-year man from the University of Connecticut. Got a couple. Hartenstein, number 73, the tackle on him. And New England defeating Philadelphia today, 24-14. The Eagles are tough, but so are the Patriots. Washington had to come from behind to beat Detroit, 21-19. The Jets tattooed Buffalo, 45-14. Tampa Bay comfortably ahead of Kansas City, 23-6. Time ticks away here in Green Bay. Baltimore in front of St. Louis. Cleveland leading New Orleans. 10 seconds left here. Happy Packers, happy crowd. They're taking all the time they need, and they have run out of it in this situation here. They used up 30 seconds for a delay of game, 2 seconds on the clock when the official whistle blew, and so they'll take the 5 yards and then just use it up again. Tampa Bay has defeated Kansas City 30-13. That is a final. Tampa Bay is now 3-3. Kansas City slips to 1-5.
Green Bay, second down.
Remember, stay tuned. We'll be going to more football action on CBS. You'll see either Minnesota and Seattle or the Giants and Dallas.
Look at that formation.
That's our end-the-game formation. Practiced it all week.
Rugby.
David Whitehurst has the ball. The Packers have the game. An impressive 24-14 victory over the Chicago Bears here in Green Bay. And a happy Packer crowd applauds this young team. They are now 5-1. And Johnny Morris, what's your comment?
A real ironic thing. The Bears controlled the ball 35 minutes. The Packers only 24, yet the Packers won handily. So it's a Green Bay victory. The Packers #1 right now.
All right. For Johnny Morris, this is Tim Ryan saying so long from Green Bay. And stay tuned as the NFL Today